welcome to the show! I am Wolfie Bane, your host for today, and we are going to be playing some more Geddon today, because I'm the evil GM, motherfuckers! And these four are my poor unfortunate players. I will say there used to be 5 players in this campaign. Unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts, Seth is unable to continue in the campaign. He will surely be missed, particularly since 2 of the players said, can we get to loot his body before the session even started? So,
It's a good question.
Really?
they did already, yeah. Immediately they said, can we loot him? They don't even know if he's dead yet. Okay, so, starting from most likely to die, to not most likely to die, to most likely to get knocked unconscious, to most likely to kill themselves. Go, Bob started off.
I'm the most likely to die. Thanks.
I mean, you did
Bob.
run yourself through last session.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the recap. I'm Bob. I'm playing the Shadow Elf, the sorcerer / warlock, who is also a businessman.
Nice one. Jay, the least likely to die because you nearly have 200 hit points. You have nearly 200 hit points at level 8. Say something.
Hey, I'm playing Smith. He's God's mistake.
Which one?
What god?
Yes. Whichever one is listening right now.
None of them.
No, it sounds
The
about
dragon
right.
rule.
I was about to say sounds about right, actually. Yeah, and that does sound like kind of my mistakes.
I'm not to blame for any of this.
You're only to blame for some of this.
I'm only to blame for some of this.
Yeah. Most likely to get knocked unconscious. Zara, say something.
Me! It's me! But I'm not dead. So
You're not
it's
dead.
fine.
Despite
No.
everything's best efforts, you're not dead.
Yeah, I should be dead, but I'm not dead.
Introduce yourself.
I'm not dead.
Fair? Yep. Not dead. Good start. Now moving on to Cav. Most likely to kill themselves. Go.
How am I most likely to kill myself?
You've seen your bow, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't had much combat of late, you know. So.
You've been in a town.
Yeah, exactly. I've just been breaking things in the town.
You burned down a building in the town.
Yeah.
Still hasn't caused as many casualties as Smith.
No, exactly. So I'm doing okay.
Introduce your character.
I'm Lenos. I burnt down a blacksmith. When I'm not doing that, I tend to shoot things with my bow and try and be sneaky.
You're pretty good at being sneaky usually, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I was
that
also very good at burning a building down.
is very good at burning buildings, or very bad at not having buildings be burned down, depending on how you want to look at that natural one's roll. So, I do believe, normally I would go, who wants to do recap, but apparently Bob has a recap prepared, which I have not listened to yet, so...
I am doing most of this from memory, but I remember it fairly well.
Oh, also, I will say, just before we start, Zara, for good roleplay last week,
Hello.
have an inspiration dice.
Cool, thanks! What is that?
Basically, once in this session, you can go, I want to use my inspiration dice for this roll, and you get advantage on the roll.
Cool.
So use it on something useful, I guess.
So
But
I got a prize.
Yeah.
Because I was...
You did good
Very
roleplay last session.
Character
so
development.
me and Bane were talking about your arguing.
it was great. Yeah.
What arguing?
What do you mean, what arguing?
Oh yeah, that arguing.
What do you mean
Yeah.
by arguing?
That was just normal behaviour.
Yeah, it was.
Jay feels the
Captain.
pain. Okay,
Oh.
go for it, Shadow Elf.
I'm going to be doing the recap for you. On last session we had the Shadow Elf. You want me to lose that?
Yes, please.
Perfect.
It's really glitching out.
Okay. Last session on Geddon,
Last time on Geddon.
we zoom in on the Shadow Elf, who is contemplating how to contact the dead, who then runs himself through, ends up in a conversation with the child.
twins.
The child.
The twins.
the child of the Dragon of Death, the twins. One, an elegant woman
Thing.
figure with brilliant white and some black is on their
glass
mask.
A pitch black mask.
And then the male figure, black mass, I believe you said.
Yeah, big, like, shadowy, metallic monster, essentially.
With a white mask,
Mhm.
and managed to make a deal with them to entertain them for some power
And not being dead.
for not being dead. The subsequent clashing of my sword hitting the floor then resulted in waking up Zariel, who came to investigate what was going on. With a unconvincing lie from the Shadow Elf to they
That everything was fine, don't worry about it.
made a deal to them, tell them it all in the morning. Meanwhile, across town, at the hotel of the subsequent accidental firing my laser,
Zara's firing her laser!
Smith and his expertise gets into work mode and fixes the wall to great success. Only to find the structural weakness of the building too late for it to collapse and kill everyone except the receptionist and 2 other people. We don't know where the other 2 people are.
Yeah, because Smith kind of abandoned the 2 people groaning under the rubble.
And convinced the sheep receptionist to maybe take up a job for the new party, and takes her back to the tavern to get drunk.
To drink away her misery of her entire life and house being destroyed around her.
And as the drinking continues, Smith writes out a fully detailed note of what happened to hand to the Shadow Elf when he wakes up early.
Which caused trauma. As far as he was reading, it was like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, what?
The next day, obviously, the Shadow Elf reading this note discovers he's not the only one who's had a hard day yesterday at the end of the night. And as the Shadow Elf waits for everyone to wake up, Zariel wakes up first, having a bit of indecision on what she wants for breakfast, and then sits down and starts explaining a little of what happened to Smith. Then Linus, as he's leaving the room, ignores a word.
Voice in his head.
A voice in his head, or someone even speaking to him, come out and get some breakfast as well. Then explaining to them. And finally, Smith, waking up, comes down and has his morning coffee, which results in a conversation between the party, and Smith and Zariel falling out over
I don't remember why they fell out. They just did. They kind of just did.
They fell out over not
They didn't want to talk to
seeing
each
eye
other.
to
We
eye.
were
Nothing in
arguing about.
You argued about
I
not
know.
seeing eye to eye. You thought
No.
you didn't see eye to eye and didn't
No.
have interest in their hobbies.
I mean, they've got like a
No.
4-foot difference
He
between
thought
one of his heads.
we weren't friends because we had nothing in common, and then I was like, well, you haven't even bothered to get to know me. I'm sure we have plenty in common. And then he was like, well, I like all of this manly
What's your
stuff. Har,
what's
har,
your
har."
favorite
And
kind of
they're like, "Well,
hammer?"
yeah,
Was his immediate
Yeah.
response, I think.
And I
Which
was like,
results
how
in-
dare you assume that I can't play with power tools and stuff.
Which resulted in the Shadow Elf shouting at both of them to separate and actually have a civil discussion. The Shadow Elf, after talking with the sheep, decides to
Do you
go
remember the
off on a
sheep's
shopping
name?
trip with them.
Who remembers
No.
the sheep's name? The person who remembers
Bonus
the name.
points
The person
for whoever remembers it.
whoever remembers the name, they will get 1 gold piece for remembering.
Hang on. I know we had this conversation,
We did.
and I thought her name was dumb, and then I said
I thought it was
Daisy's is
that.
a dumb name as well.
I know.
Yeah, because you
Dude.
kept
I
trying
don't.
to name her after a pet.
I remember that it begins with D.
It
No.
does.
It does. See?
Wasn't it like
It wasn't Delilah.
Dixie?
It's Dixie!
Delia.
Smith gets it! Smith gets
Yeah.
1 gold
Gold
piece
to
for
him.
remembering that the sheep girl's name was Dixie.
Yeah, I remembered it because it's the Dixie Chicks.
Yep. It was totally just a random name generator when I looked up sheep name generator, which is one of the weirdest things that has ever been put in my search history, and that's really saying something.
Yeah, the Welsh government would be watching you now.
Yeah.
Oh, don't start the month saying I'm Welsh again. I get enough
Finding
of that
it.
from some of my fucking chat members.
We'll continue the wrap up of this,
Yep.
finding out that Dixie is the ultimate haggler of all times, increasing Shadow Elf's interest in hiring on this person. Then the party split off to do their own separate tasks. The Shadow Elf brewing potions, the Smith crafting
A boat.
numerous pieces of equipment and a new cart for us, along with Zariel going on her own little excursion to do a nice shopping trip.
Yay.
Which everyone
Which-
thought she's going to just be a rival. But we were all very surprised.
But at the
Oh,
end of
yeah.
this, they all meet up, and Zariel has a very heartfelt apology for Smith and makes up with Smith very nicely to wrap up the whole scene. And we then go, wait, where's... Alright,
Has the
Where's
monk
Seth?
been asleep all day? Yes.
yeah,
And that's
that was
what we
about...
ended.
Yep.
Yep, congratulations, that was great, Bob.
I
It was
remembered most of it because I got involved in a lot of it.
It was worth the wait, I approve. Have 30 gold and an inspiration die.
Okay.
That's the
We're
recap.
now just giving inspiration die out like candy.
Here's the thing,
What's
Zara.
the point?
Here's the thing, Zara. You wouldn't have got it if you hadn't done good roleplay.
I did such good role.
You did very good roleplay, exactly.
Thank you.
I was genuinely
I did do more
impressed.
today.
If that was the thing. I was genuinely impressed. Well done.
Yay.
Okay, so I believe you guys are about to go upstairs and actually check on Seth
Yes.
because you went, what the fuck? Why has he been in his room all day?
Yes.
Okay,
He's been sleeping for a long time. We're a bit concerned.
who would be
Yes.
leading the way up the stairs? Or are not all of you going to go and check?
No, I'm staying eating breakfast, man.
It's
My
currently like 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, did we sleep again?
He has been
No.
eating breakfast very slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we've
it's
had a whole...
this is the end
whole
of the
day.
day. This is the end of the day, essentially.
Remember, we came back to the tavern, and then I gave presents out.
Yeah, because you guys were going to set off in the morning. So, this was the day. Hello, Rip.
You're the most... You're the
You know
most
what?
stealthy of us, Linus. Why don't
I thought you were going to get, you're the most stealthy of us, Smith.
I mean,
No, I'm
if,
gonna have dinner, sorry.
if we're about to like cause a ruckus with this man, I'll just stomp up the stairs. I assume it's stairs.
It is, yes. They are
Yeah,
very sturdy.
There's
so
no
they can hold you
subtlety here. Like, if he's in there, it's gonna be horrifying. Like, an arm's gonna reach in through a door and try and grab him out the room. It's gonna be.
up. Okay, you go up to where Seth's room is. You hear snoring on the inside.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna open the door.
It's locked.
Yeah, I'm still gonna open the door.
Make me a strength check.
The world is fragile to me now. Did I do it?
27, yes, you rip the door off its hinges with a loud crunch. He goes, you hear it, oi! From downstairs. Don't damage the property, you're gonna have to pay for that.
Oof.
Fine, I can fix that.
He's a very good smith.
Well, it's wood.
Hinges, easy.
The hinges are actually fairly intact. The wood around the hinges is not intact.
You know, it's fine. I have mending. I can literally just fix it.
Okay, you look into the room. There's no one in there. Bed has been made. Everything just looks like a unoccupied room.
I thought I heard snoring.
You did. You can still hear snoring, in fact. And
From
it
where?
sounds like it's coming from the room.
I'm a whip out my sniffer.
Roll me a smell check.
Let's get smelling. That's 2 14s.
You got a 14.
Yeah.
You can smell, like, Seth, who's in the room.
Yeah.
Because he
That's it.
hasn't showered.
Okay, so he's somewhere in here. How am I gonna find this guy in a small room but I don't quite fit into?
You need a hand up there.
I will say you do fairly comfortably fit into these rooms because they're not built for like medium creatures. They're built for like arachne, which are very big.
Yeah.
So, like arachne and lamias live in this area, so the room is built kind of with them in mind. And
First
lamias
things
can grow to
first.
20 feet long.
First things first, obviously, turn around, cast mending to reattach door to hinges.
Yeah, you just do it.
Yeah. Right. And I guess, as if I'm gonna just look for this guy, he can't be, like, hidden too badly. I'll pick up the bed, look under there, flip the bed over in case he's, like, tightly wrapped in the sheets and I just didn't notice.
Yep, he's not there.
Yeah, you know, look up at the ceiling. He's not, like, sellotaped himself to the ceiling to sleep.
He has not.
Wouldn't surprise me.
He is a ninja, but he isn't the ninja from Trinity 7. He is not under a blanket, just on the ceiling.
I'm gonna walk up and go.
Walk
See
up and
how
I'm just
Smith's
looking
doing.
at... Like, I imagine, like... What do I roll to just generally search for room?
Investigation.
Investigation? I have nothing to help me with this. That's a 16.
It's better than your nose, though. Yep, you find no real trace of him, but you can still hear
Yeah.
the snoring.
Yeah, I suppose, then. When he comes in, he finds me starting to look in, like, the more ludicrous of places.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, opening, like, a chest of, like, a cabinet, like, one of the drawers on it, and trying to peer inside.
You're just looking into the drawer of the bedside table. It's like, is he in here?
Is he in here? No.
It's like a 1 foot square drawer.
Real head scratching this one.
One of your heads is actually scratching currently.
No.
It's very confused.
I can hear him snoring. I can smell him. I can't find him.
I'm gonna do something.
Yep.
I can do that at will now. I accidentally start speaking in beast to one of his heads, going, "Can you not smell him somewhere?"
They speak common. It's still Smith.
I'm just wondering if the beast understood it when I started speaking. And
No, Smith is not a beast. He just starts like barking at you, Smith.
You know, I don't have time to unpack whatever is going on with you right now. We will shelf that for later. Can you help me find him?
What? What do you mean? I'm back to speaking in common. What do you mean? I just merely asked you to say if you can smell them.
No, you were just barking.
Huh?
Like a dog. Except not adorable.
Oh, it was like a horrible, like coughing bark. It was really weird.
Yeah, it was. It sounded like a dog, but it was kind of like the exact opposite of a dog.
It's a god.
A fully grown man who's a
I'm sorry.
pile of shadowy goo.
I may be addressing one of the wrong heads here when I was speaking to you, but I don't know what happened there.
They're all my head, and none of them speak dog.
Okay. I didn't know I could speak dog. Guess you learn something new every day.
Yeah. You need like a treat?
No.
If I tell you to sit, are you gonna sit? Like, are you turning into a dog?
It must be something from the new powers I've been given. I don't know what that was. It's new to me as well.
Power is that you're a dog.
There's worse powers, to be fair.
Just because it's gonna be funny, and
the water.
I'm going to test if he's a dog by telling him to sit. I'm also going to cast a command. Like, not on purpose, just on accident.
Okay, roll, is it wisdom for command?
Yeah, it's wisdom.
Roll me a wisdom save, Bob. What's your spell
15.
DC, Jay?
It's a 14. so just
You
beats
don't
it.
sit. You feel a compulsion to sit, Bob, but you don't do it. Well, you
No, I'm
you don't
alright,
feel forced to do it.
I'm okay. I don't need to sit down. We're trying to find where Seth is.
My God, if that
Oh,
would have worked. that'd
Wait,
be great.
right, you're part dog. Seek!
What? What do you mean, seek?
Man, you are a very poorly trained dog, man.
I'm not a dog man. I mean, I can summon a dog.
Can you?
You can. You've
Yes.
seen him do it, actually. This one you've seen him
I
do.
don't know what's going on anymore.
I don't
They're in like
remember
a
him.
small room and they're getting confused because they can hear snoring and they can smell that there's a person that was in here, but they can't find the person who's snoring.
Wait, why can't you? Why don't you try summoning the dog to find him? Wait, are we sure this dog isn't just you?
No, this is a separate thing.
Oh no.
Zara,
What
take
did
it
the
with him.
dog look like? Was this dog also made of shadow? When
It
you
was like
came
a
to it?
shadow wolf, essentially.
I will spend my 3 sorcery points to summon the Hound of Omens.
Hound of ill omen.
I'm like 100% convinced that this man is part dog.
You've not spent much time with elves, to be fair, so
Yeah.
you might be.
Like the two things I know about him, he's made of goo, dark shadow goo.
And he can walk on water. That's the other thing.
There was a wolf that also was made of dark shadow goo, and now he's speaking dog.
The dark shadow wolf just creeps out of my shadow and just sits there waiting for commands.
Yep.
Can you pick up the scent of Seth and find where he is?
I need to look up a direwolf stats now.
I yell seek again. I
It,
just yell seek again.
I know it has advantage for this check. Direwolf. Because I know it's a direwolf, it's just size medium, right? That's the Hound of Ill Omen.
Yep. Yeah.
It has +3 to perception, Bob.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
This is me.
and advantage as well, because it's got keen hearing and smell.
Yeah.
So yeah, roll me a basically a d20 +3 with advantage. Oh, that's a bad start. That's not a good start either. The hound can smell something, but it seems like it's walking in circles with its smelling.
No. To be fair, the Hound of Ill Omen does automatically know its target's location. That is like
Oh!
the key feature of it.
Does it? Okay, I actually have to check this one. Hound of Ill Omen. I need to see if it's got a range.
It's medium, not large. Monstrosity, not beast. Gets temporary hit points equal to your sorcerer level. Can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. Takes 5 force damage for ends its turn inside an object. At the start of the turn, the hound automatically knows its target's location. If the target was hidden, it is no longer hidden from the hound. It's within 120 feet.
Oh yeah,
it
it
is.
doesn't. It doesn't work them.
Oh, so it doesn't
That's
know
why
where
it's
it is.
circling.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's why I was checking if it's because like oh yeah, it does have a. It actually is like a hunter. But it's like where is it? No, it's not. It's well out of range. So.
He is distinctly not in this room.
Yep. You can
Not
still hear the
that I know
snoring, and
of.
it does sound like his snoring.
Can I make Arcana check to see if I can figure out any magical spell? Because Bob knows what it might be.
You can try, yeah.
But
Like a magic mouth on the other side of his pillow. I'm actually gonna check the other side of his pillow. The cool side of the pillow.
The cool side.
so would
Uh,
within 19 I know something of
you know that
magic
there are.
mouth.
You know there are types of magic that can like imitate a voice or something like that. But to your knowledge, Seth didn't have any of those. But with a 19, you'd also know that there are items that do similar things.
I believe we're either looking for something magically in this room that will produce this sound, maybe an item or something it's been cast on. Let's
So it
start
might
looking.
be an item.
Shall we get the others in here to help?
I mean, if they want.
I mean, this will go faster if we have more eyes.
You Hacksmith has more eyes than the rest of the party combined. I wish to point that out.
Yes, but he gets a little distracted by all of them.
If you want, you can roll an investigation again with advantage, Smith, if you'd like.
Oh,
What have you got to your investigation?
You can
I've got
both do
plus
it.
3.
Is the thing. You can both do it with advantage. Is the thing.
I have a +1.
Yeah.
17.
Smith finds it because he knows where he's
No
looking.
items.
It is a. You find a little box in the really far tucked away corner of the room, and that you get really looking around. You go, wait a minute. You just see a little tiny box. It's literally smaller than a Rubik's cube, and the snoring appears to be emanating from it.
He better not be inside the tiny box.
I don't think he's inside the tiny box.
You never know. I got bigger. He could have got monstrous, like massively smaller, monstrously smaller. That's the word I was looking for.
Monstrously small.
Well, get the box and we'll see.
Uh,
But I don't think he is, because the dog would have probably picked up on that.
I'll be honest. I don't think I can open this box. My fingers too big.
You have your
Let me
other.
do
You
it.
have your other limbs. Remember.
Yeah, but then I have to pass it to my back. I have a lot going on here.
It's a pull for you.
Ow.
You just have to hold it up, in theory. But yeah.
I'll get it if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to try opening the box?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Okay.
It's a very
It is
small
the
box.
Rubik's cube.
Right hand, disadvantage.
Yep.
7.
7. Okay. You twist it. It's you can't really see an edge, a gap to open it. You twist it slightly, and the box just explodes.
Okay.
Doesn't do any damage. It's just pfft.
Okay.
I think he broke it.
There is no more snoring in the room.
Wait. I'm a cast mending on it.
I have a check. I have to check for mending actually for this particular one.
Depends on how many pieces it was turned into. Mending can only mend.
It breaks a single
seams.
pair.
If you
But
were
I can
to
just
do
keep
that,
casting it on this object for 10 minutes. Cantrip.
okay, if you want to do it, I'm going to tell you this now. You will be here for the rest of the campaign.
With how much it broke.
It
You know what, it's
broke
fine.
into dust.
Oh.
There is about 200 billion pieces this box has been turned into.
Right.
Each one of those pieces to join together would take a minute.
Okay.
I don't think you will live long enough to do that.
I don't think even Shadow Elf would live long enough to do
I mean,
that.
you've got a 2-year clock before you die, remember, so...
I guess
Yeah.
I could fabricate it instead.
Just make a new one.
Yeah, just make a new one from the dust. It's raw materials, but you can see within range. I guess I'd have to actively know how this device worked first.
Yes, you would. You can make a box, like a solid cube, out of it.
I could make a cube. I don't, honestly, I'm not gonna spend 10 minutes just so we can carry this dust in a cube.
But yeah,
Well,
Well-
we certainly tried.
we have no clue where he is then.
Well, seeing as a box was left to sound like him, and the door was locked,
the window's
I
locked as
can
well.
only assume that he regained his memories, read the name in his underwear, and was like, "Oh yeah, I remember killing that guy and stealing all of his stuff," and then ran away before we could kill him. Humans will be like that, you know.
That's
Not
oh, he
trustworthy.
was kidnapped. there's that option as well. I mean,
mean-
we've had people after us for the most part,
All right.
including someone you know who's wanted to kill us.
He's
Who the
very reasonable, though.
Who the hell would hire him? You
Oh,
got any
well,
clue?
I mean, it's confidentiality. I wouldn't ask you who hired you on a job for the Adventurers Guilds.
if you
It's just not kosher.
I'm not
I will
hired
say,
for the
um,
Adventurers Guild.
Smith.
I'm a freelance trader.
Smith, there's one thing which you can do here, actually. Roll me any kind of knowledge check you want, actually.
Any kind of knowledge check?
Yeah, like one of the actual... It's one of the intelligence skills, basically. Any you'd like.
Any intelligence?
I don't know if
No.
you have any, is the main thing, but it would work for any of them.
No.
You know? You can roll...
Hear
roll
me
one.
out.
Mhm.
Hear me out.
Yeah?
Could I roll Smith's tools with intelligence?
Not on this one, unfortunately.
Damn. Well, I guess I'll just roll
Roll intelligence.
straight intelligence. Yeah. That's 10.
10,
That's
okay.
very middling.
The one thing you would actually know about this, you know he's a legendary adventurer. So the one thing you definitely know is that whoever hired him has a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like,
Eh,
a
like,
lot of money because they are expensive. So-
there's only like we don't ask. Also, like, you gotta understand, like, whoever hired him has to have like so much money, like just
Oh, I know.
just
I
in
had-
like ludicrous amount, like they could make a swimming pool, dive
know.
into it, swim around for a bit,
I-
all in like platinum pieces, I assume.
Yeah.
I did have a conversation with the one who captured me. He, though, wasn't going to tell me anything of any relevance. He did say that I wouldn't be able to afford to hire him.
If you'd have gotten higher, you'd have actually have roughly known the approximate like rates that legendary adventurers go, which would be very
Yeah.
funny because it's like several thousand gold a minute.
Yeah. I mean, and he as a legendary adventurer, did he just like actively do accept jobs from around where I started, or is he just like an all over the show kind of guy?
He's an all over the show one. He's one of the
Yeah.
he's done jobs near you, and that's where he's like, oh yeah, I'm getting paid a lot for this. But,
Yeah. So like, I can't even like begin to guess which rich person wants anyone with these marks dead.
Well, I mean, they have to have the sort of wealth that our demon friends around here have.
Or
Who
more.
work. Because the one who obviously hired to capture us for his entertainment, from the seams of it, he must have had some substantial amount of wealth.
Maybe.
Now he's kind of up shit creek without a paddle, gone, and can't remove this from us anymore.
super
I
It's
dead.
like, I really wish I knew how.
Let's first of all, because you're very prone to panicking. I know that. I've spent like at least over a week with you now. It's basically all you do. Let's first check the window for any signs of forced entry. If there isn't any, you can calm down. He wasn't kidnapped. He ran away.
Yes, but there's also things.
He's
as
living on a
spells.
farm upstate.
There's also things called spells, you know, that
Uh,
allow you to transport through.
Well, why don't I check the window and you check to see if any magic MacGuffins happened in here?
I will also say teleportation magic's pretty damn rare in Geddon. You do know
Yeah.
about it, but it's very rare. A lot rarer than in most games.
Yeah, it deatomizes them and reatomizes you.
Yeah.
I was distinctly told, don't take it, you'll die.
Yep. Yeah, you can roll investigation though, for the window, if you'd like.
Ooh.
And for the Shadow Elf, roll either detect magic if you've got it, or a Arcana check with a much higher DC.
Got it.
Yeah. There is no sign of any kind of forced entry. The key is still on the inside of the window as well. It's
No sign of force
also,
entry.
with a 19, it hasn't been opened in about a few weeks, would be your guess.
Yep.
Probably just have to be a high DC
DC, yeah.
Arcana.
I don't know if you had detect magic. Yeah. Can't tell any magic in here that seems anything like that.
Too much magic-y stuff in here.
It's Geddon.
Nothing.
It's Geddon. There's a lot of magic in general. The toilet has a lot of magic in it in Geddon. So
I think there's too much of that box's dust there. I can't get any read of.
You probably shouldn't have smashed the box into dust, then.
I didn't intentionally. Apparently, it was more fragile than I would expect for.
a box
Small
made
boxes
of wood.
tend to be pretty
A
fragile.
small hollow box made of wood. Yeah, they're kind of fragile.
Yeah, wood is incredibly fragile. You never know when it's just gonna break. 1,000 yards there.
Are you okay?
Huh? Yeah.
What? Shall we go talk to others then?
Yeah, we can
I-
tell him, but he's moved upstate to a farm with his friends and family, so they don't worry.
Oh, you can try.
Or we could do the
I'm-
Droda method, which is tell them their child got kidnapped by a giant bird and couldn't beat it in a fight. There is no hope for them.
I tried to lie to her last night, and apparently she sees through it. So,
Well, that's because you lied.
yes,
You,
But I
you don't
did
lie by lying. You lie by telling the truth, but only little bits.
you are a very interesting and unique person, and you can do the talking for us. You need to practice.
Right? Yeah.
You go back down the stairs. I'm assuming. I'm
Yeah.
guessing Linus, Zariel, and Dixie are just sitting at the table, just chatting a bit and eating.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, what I'll do is I'll come down and be like, "We have an announcement to make, I'm afraid," and then I'll lean in and whisper it to Dixie so that she can explain.
She goes, okay. Right. What exactly did you say for question?
The other human we were traveling with, who's been in bed all day, he's not in bed. I can only assume he moved upstate to a farm.
Okay.
I'm like sticking with that angle.
Okay. So according to Smith, the other human you were traveling with has moved away to become a farmer, apparently, and will not longer be on the journey.
Okay.
She just looks around and goes and shrugs. I just got told.
Yeah.
I told you to tell them not to use your new employee to be your voice for you.
They're literally. This is literally their job. They are paid wages for the.
This is one of the things I was paid for. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that was in the contract. She
Yeah,
literally
Smith.
hands you a contract. Your signature's on it. You don't remember signing it, but your signature's on it.
What is it? I'm guessing it's all written in common.
Yes. It's actually
Okay.
written in 5 different languages, but Common is one of them.
I can read all of them.
One of them is legalese.
Yes, it is. One of them is lawyer.
I can
I
read
can
every
read
single.
that.
I can read every single.
I mean, real life me.
I know you can't in game.
I can read any
In-game,
language it's
Got that.
written in now.
Yep.
in game, wearing glasses automatically gives you a proficiency in lawyer.
I don't know why I can read all the languages that are written on this now, but apparently I can.
He's part dog and part nerd.
Must be another thing from this mock.
Hmm.
I picked Eldritch Invocation of Read All.
I see.
Nice. I can read
But-
every.
The more important news than the human that left, I am genuinely concerned that the Shadow Elf is part dog.
Why?
Your pot dog?
No.
He's made of shadow. He occasionally sends out a dog made out of shadow. And
Oh,
before
yes.
The
he
dog
was
is still here,
barking
by
at
the
me.
way.
See, it's right
this
there.
This is the Hound of Omen.
Which is a terrible name for a dog, honestly. Who would
Hi?
name it that?
I don't know. And I'd start talking to the dog and and say, "Why are you called the Hound of Omen?"
If you're
You're-
talking to the dog, do you switch to dog?
He does,
again?
yes.
Yes.
And the dog,
I can.
and the Hound of Ill
well-
Omen just goes, "You have a terrible naming convention."
Oh, I didn't want to call you that. It was just.
Well, it's
something
too
to-
late.
Okay.
You can't change it now.
What? Really?
Yep.
It's terrible.
Well, it's
What
your
would you
fault.
like to have been called?
I'm not telling you.
Why not?
I don't want to.
Oh, you have such an antagonistic relationship with this creature. But in character,
sorry.
I think you're talking
I-
to yourself and it's going great.
It was
You're,
how it
you're
was
getting like
written.
a barks coming from the Shadow Elf and barks coming from the dog.
That was how it was written in the spellbook.
Why are you reading spell books?
I
They're bad
don't
for
know.
you.
It's like the age-old saying, there are two wolves inside you. You're a dog.
That's rather rude. Well,
Jim,
he says he
Jim,
didn't want to be called the Hound of Ill Omen, but he apparently can't change his name now.
Oh, I've just realised. No, the dog actually can't understand you, and you can't understand the dog.
Why not?
It's
It doesn't have a language.
it's not a beast.
I can.
Monstrosity.
Can't I speak to dogs?
You have tongues, right?
Yeah, I think she does.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
use tongues, you can, because it does have a language, but it's not one that the Shadow Elf speaks. And
Okay, should I use tongues?
yeah, you have to use the
Okay.
spell slot.
Oh, how do I do that?
Just mark down. Just basically click the spell, and then mark one off of your.
I mean, that was not fair. That was a fun conversation.
It
there.
was. I'm really sad that the dog can't actually speak. It's the wording of it, basically. Your the animal speak only works on beasts,
Uh-huh.
and the Hound of Ill Omen is very specifically not a beast.
What is he then?
He's a monstrosity.
Ah,
It's like how if you talk to Zara's fox, it doesn't work either. Because it's not a
Yeah.
beast.
well, I tried to speak to the dog at least then.
You try to speak. Yeah, you try. They try to speak to the dog. The dog just looks at you.
Not
silently.
realising.
So where am I clicking?
On your character sheet on the last page, the one that you hate,
Spells.
Yep.
Yeah, I hate that.
click tongues.
Tongue.
The name.
Yes. Yes. And public roll it.
Sure. There you go.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Now it should mark off one. You can now speak
Mark off one where?
on the spell slot at the top, the second number. Lower it by one, because you've cast the spell.
Hang on. It doesn't have one of those.
No, it's above it, higher up. Scroll
On
to the
top
top
of
of the page.
Fireball.
Yep, above that.
Okay, so I've marked it down to 2.
Yep. That's how you cast spells, Zara. Congratulations.
When does it come back?
When you sleep.
What the
Which you guys are going to sleep in probably a couple hours, so it's fine.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, now I talk to dog.
The Hound of Ill Omen looks at you and goes, "Can you please tell him to stop barking at me?"
Stop
Um,
barking at him. He's not enjoying it.
I'm spending a spell slot to comprehend language, so I don't know what they said. Okay. Can you tell them back that I thought he was a beast, and that I could speak to him for some weird reason? I can
Wow,
Ow.
thanks.
speak to.
You can't
I'm
understand
sorry.
what he said, but
I can.
Zara can. Oh yeah, you can.
comprehend languages.
Yeah.
I can't speak back to him, but I can comprehend what he's saying.
You can understand what he's saying. Can he understand what you're saying?
Most likely, I think. I hope.
I can understand your intentions.
Okay, so I don't need to keep relaying everything. It's fine
Not if you don't want to.
then. So, dog, do you have a name?
Hound of Ill Omen.
What?
Yeah, this idiot called me that.
Do you have a
Just
name
call
that
me
you
an idiot.
prefer instead? Because we can call you something else.
I can't.
Dog looks like a Gary.
What do you mean he can't?
That's not how the magic works. You should have read
I'ma
the
call
fine
him
print.
Gary.
Call him Gary.
Okay, well, how about we give you a nickname instead?
I don't really care. But sure, why not?
Gary of Ill Omen.
Gary of Ill Omen. He
No,
does
you
adverts for
don't
Walker's
get to name
Crisps.
people anymore. Right. Well, we'll call you, Sethy.
I don't like this name.
That is an
Pick
awful
your
name.
name then.
I can't.
I was trying
I
to
don't
pay
have a
tribute.
brain.
How are you talking?
Because I'm magic. Of course I can
Yes.
talk. Because I'm a dog.
He's only around for 5 minutes as well.
I know, yeah, he's about to disappear. Like mid-conversation, like as you're saying this, he just blinks out of existence.
This is interesting.
Yeah. I can't do that again today. Well, yes, I could, but I don't see why we need to want to.
I can't
bring
do
him
that
back.
again. Well, I can, but I don't want.
It's very confusing, and I think comprehend languages only last for
It's an hour.
an hour. All right. Shit, I can understand everything.
Yep.
And read everything. This is going to be very confusing.
You could already read anything with comprehend languages. It works the same way.
Yeah, but I can do it without the comprehend languages.
But yeah, so do you guys have anything you want to do before you guys settle in for a long rest?
I don't think so.
Is there any other supplies we'd need? I mean, I've got the food sorted out, I think.
You haven't paid for
still
the
got-
food yet.
I still got coffee in me, I think.
You do, yes.
You
I
know, I might just mess around, see if I can do. Anyone got like anything they just like really want like working on, maybe like polishing up. Got a lot of
Yeah.
energy to burn off, you know.
Yeah, you're starting to like come more towards the end of it, but you are. You
How
have
much
still
gold
got a
was
couple
it?
hours.
How much gold was it?
For the supplies, I believe if you were just getting normal supplies, I think it was like 1,000 for the amount you were wanting. But Dixie lowers it to 500.
I know what I'm gonna do. It's entirely unnecessary, but to make up for the fact that I
I
broke.
think I've already
the
deducted that yesterday. Well, last session.
You
I
didn't
didn't
pay. You
forget.
didn't pay for it, but I think you wrote it down, but you haven't actually paid him because you were going to do it the next day.
Huh?
Because the some of the things needed to be bought on the day was the reason. So
Yeah.
Definitely think I took the deduction already.
did you? Fair enough. You guys bought a lot of shit. Is the thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Entirely unnecessary, but you know,
Mhm.
got to make up for accidentally breaking the door. So I'm gonna see if just like not with his permission or anything, but I'm gonna upgrade his cutlery. Like, just get some smith's tool work done, like make the knives a bit sharper, forks even forkier. I might accidentally invent a spork. Who knows?
Roll me a Smith's Tools check. With all of your massive number of bonuses.
I don't even.
Oh yeah, shit! You actually would have passed nearly every roll that you made previously already. By the way,
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot you had a +10 to everything.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot as well. It's fine. Let's accidentally invent the spork.
Okay, roll. 21,
Oh.
31. You've got advantage, remember?
All right, yeah. I always forget that.
Doesn't my tool belt that I gave him help as well?
No, that increases his armor. It actually means that he doesn't have to,
Oh.
like, do as much effort to get the tools out, though.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
it helps somewhat.
Smith really enjoys it though.
with a-
He has a tool belt.
With a 35, Smith, you not only invent the spork, you also invent the spife.
Oh. Wait, spoon knife?
Yep.
Only if there was some way to combine the fork and the knife.
Yeah,
The
you do.
fool's dream.
You do. Unfortunately, they're not on the
Still.
same end. You just make like a double-ended, like knife fork. It's still in prototype, that one. The other two you're fairly confident in, provided
Only
that
the
nobody
strong
ever
will be able to eat with these.
provided that nobody ever tries to like eat jelly with the spife. You're fine,
Yeah.
because then you put the spoon in your entire mouth and just slice half of your face off.
They are basically steak knives, yeah.
Yeah.
One day I'll combine all three of these, make the ultimate eating utensil.
You also upgrade one of his spatulas to a +2 spatula.
Nice. Nah, that's what I do before bed.
Yeah, you upgrade.
Because I'm used to being exhausted, like horrendously exhausted before I go to sleep. I was just starting to dip back to normal energy levels. That's not good enough.
Yeah, you feel like you've done a damn good day's work. Dixie immediately goes to bed.
I'm gonna need to get more of this coffee.
Anything else any of you want to do?
Yeah, I'm going for a. No, that'll be tomorrow then, because if Dixie's off to bed, I would have. And it's a bit late for the shops to be still open and go get some more.
Yeah.
Supplies to make healing potions.
Yeah, it's quite late at night. Okay, Linus or Zariel, either of you want to do anything before you go to bed?
I mean, I guess I can make some more poisons with the stuff that I foraged.
Yeah, go for it. Roll me a poisonous kit check. 16. You make. Roll me a d4. You make 3 vials of standard poison.
Okay.
Bad.
Add that onto my item list.
Yeah, pretty much. Standard weapon poison. It adds like d8 poison damage to your attacks for a minute.
D8.
Yeah. Zariel, anything you want to do before you go to bed?
Where's Dixie?
In bed.
You're
She's
gonna
gone
go
to
give her a cuddle?
sleep.
Yes.
Is she asleep?
You can go check if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
Okay. You hear. Does she snore? No, she doesn't snore. So you go up to her room and like you knock on the door. There's no response.
So she must be asleep. Okay, I'll just go back. I'll go to my room.
Okay. So yes, a new day dawns, and it is morning. You all wake up at roughly the same time because you all said you were getting an early start. So, actually, here's a fun one. Everyone, roll me a Wisdom saving throw, please.
I'm not very wise.
Okay.
Zara,
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom save, please.
Wisdom. Wisdom.
I will pick every single one of you up if you wake up after me. You'll wake up traveling in the cart.
Hey, okay, so this is what happens. Zariel, Dixie, and Smith all wake up. Good timing. Wait, Dixie actually wakes up before the rest of you because she nat 20'd.
This is even worse for me because I'm the
Yep.
one who only needs 4 fucking hours.
Yep.
Yeah, Dixie's like really excited for life on the road.
Yeah, Dixie wakes up bright and early. She's ready. She's packed. You catch Smith is the next one to be up. He walks downstairs and Dixie's already at the table, like just chatting with the barman, having a cup of coffee. She waves as you come down. Zariel is pretty close behind. She's like, you take a. I'm assuming, I don't know. Do you take a bit longer than Smith to get ready? Because of Smith, I imagine, just like pours a bucket of water over himself and is like, I'm good.
I can't. I inflate.
Oh
if
yeah.
I do that, remember.
You just like wake up, brush yourself down. You've seen Toph wake up in Avatar where she just like spits to the side, brushes herself and goes, I'm good. You basically just do that, I imagine.
Yeah.
Zariel, I imagine you take a little longer, but you wake up in a good time, you feel nice and happy and awake. After another 30 minutes, Linus, you wake up and go, oh shit, I overslept a bit.
He would not go 30 minutes before I went up and caused issues. They
You
would
get-
have got 5 minutes.
You get a amount of time, essentially, Linus. But you're quite happily sleeping, essentially.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Shadow Elf, you're catatonic.
Cat on.
God, he's the only one I
I'm
can't
zen,
pick up
you
as
mean.
well, isn't he?
Yep.
Because I'm
You-
trancing.
You're just a puddle on the floor.
You're he's a puddle with armor resting on top of it.
I'm so zen I fell in a puddle.
How do I wake this creep up?
Okay. Smith, roll me a strength check to wake Linus up. I could do other saves, but I'm assuming it's a strength check you're wanting. 32. You like bust open the door of Linus's room. What do you do?
Well, as soon I'm gonna like curse the fact that I don't have the jaw that I can just easily carry him with on me anymore.
This is for Linus. This is
This
for
is
Linus
Linus.
first.
Oh, Linus first.
Yeah.
Oh, Linus, open the door. I'm just picking him up.
Linus, you
Can you
are
be
awake.
nice?
You wake up as he does that.
You wake up. You are getting thrown over my shoulder. You are going.
How do you
We are
respond?
not wasting any of the time we have been granted.
Okay, that sounds good.
He's like, cool.
He's just like, yeah.
I'm
no,
like, this is a fun dream I'm having.
You get
No,
a
that's-
voice in your head again going, this ain't a dream, dude.
Oh dear. Oh,
I know what it is.
Man, that sounds like something that would only happen in a dream.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Weirdly enough, I can't even argue that fact. If you say anything else to it, it doesn't respond. So, now that you've thrown Linus down the staircase, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You now break
this-
into the Shadow Elf's room. What do you do?
Well, like I said, I curse the fact that I don't have the jaw to put him in. Because that would be the easy way of picking up a puddle on the floor.
Yep.
And then, is he a liquid?
Nope.
Or is he a solid?
He's neither.
Hmm.
He is incorporeal by technicality. Because
I'm
he
gonna
is
grab
dark.
a pillowcase and just scoop him up.
Roll
It's gonna
me
be
a-
awkward, but it's like brush and shovel into a pillowcase, throw him over my shoulder, start
Along
walking.
with all my stuff.
I'm assuming.
Listen, if I think it's your stuff, I'll grab it. If I don't, I'm not grabbing it.
Roll me an intelligence check, Smith.
That is a poor decision.
No, no. Don't leave my fucking stuff behind.
your equipment. He gets your tools, he gets your armor, he gets your weapons. And the stuff like that's in your backpack.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't pick up anything else though, so there's a bunch of clothes just left around and various bits and pieces.
I don't have clothes.
You have something.
I make my clothes out of me, of the shadow.
Okay, all your fake clothes then? They're left behind.
The fake travel clothes, you have to convince people that you're an actual person.
Yeah. They're all left behind. Now,
Right.
roll me a strength check. Okay. So,
Actual fucking money.
you basically go, right, how am I getting the shadow into a bag? Wait a minute, I've got this. You put your hand, just rip into the wooden floor, and just carve up the chunk that he's on, and just shove it all in the bag, into a pillowcase. Quickly just fix the floor, and go, right, that'll do. And you have him in a bag.
Nice.
You also have a big chunk of flooring in your bag, and a suit of armor, and a bunch of other random shit. But it's all in there.
Yeah. I'll make sure I get, like, I know he doesn't eat food, but I'll make sure to pour some breakfast in the bag as well. Just
What?
in case he's feeling like it, and then I'll carry him to the cart.
What do you order, out of curiosity?
What do elves eat?
Fish.
And how much food
Alright, fish then.
was it I bought the last time altogether?
With Dixie,
Whatever-
500
Whatever
gold.
your best traveling fish is.
Actually, no, you
right.
wanted the special stuff as well.
Yeah. It was to be rationed out to everyone.
Yeah. Because you ordered a bunch of special stuff, it was it was 5 grand total, down to 2,500. Because of all the special food you ordered.
How much did you say?
2,500 with Dixie.
Alright. Oh yeah, then I would have needed help with to pay off that kind of bill. Because I don't have that. So they'd probably be holding out hand for money.
Dixie goes, we need to pay the bill.
How much?
2,500 gold.
Can anybody lend me 44 gold just so this is easier for me to remove from my sheet?
Yeah,
I'll take it
sure.
off mine. Considering how,
Alright.
how much?
Now I've got a flat 2,000 gold left. Let's go.
You said 44 gold.
Yeah, just 44.
You just reach into my bag.
Yeah,
and
but you
take out
just take 44 gold off.
Just reach into your bag while you're asleep and take it. What are you gonna do about it? Also,
This is very unusual because
how much
I
is
sleep the least out of everyone. and
You were real
still-
tired.
I want his best to go meal that is fish.
Oh, you actually, that's 100 gold.
100 gold? Well,
Pour some coffee in here.
I mean, did you see what I did to the cutlery?
Oh, you did? That was you that did that. Ah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I will say, let's knock 50 off that for you.
Spatula though.
Oh, that's with the spatula. That's what I'm cooking with.
Oh. Yeah, I
Off
guess
price
it's
is pretty
even
good.
better now.
Yeah, off price is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. I'll hand it over. What was that, like 150?
Hmm?
What was it? Like 150 gold for the fish to go?
No, 50.
Oh, just 50
It was
gold.
100 gold, and you got half
Yeah,
price.
fine. Listen, don't call me out.
That's what I literally even said. If half price is pretty good.
Yeah, alright. Well, I'll hand over the 50, and then
Okay.
I'll pour his to-go meal into the bag for him.
Okay. Jay, you actually might know what this meal is. You play it, you know
Oh?
Genshin. You know
Yeah.
that black perch stew?
Yeah?
It's basically that.
Oh, wow.
So you just pour burning hot
This-
liquid into
This
the.
is a very poor to-go meal.
No, it's in like a little. It's in one of those like Chinese takeaway little tins.
Oh, with like a little lid on, yeah, I'll just put it in for him.
Yeah.
I'm expecting that kind of save.
Thank you. Yes, you got away with it already. It was a DC 14, so you don't get burned.
Which means he also doesn't wake up. Well, guess we'll
Sleeping
go,
with the fishes.
go chuck him in the back of the cart. And make sure everybody else is ready to go.
You actually throw him in.
No, I just put Superman. I don't want to go in.
That's what I was about to say. Okay, you just put the Shadow of in there. Who's driving? Because the Shadow of's the one with land vehicles.
Does anybody know how to drive? Also, is everyone else ready to go yet?
Well, isn't it basically just a choice out of Zara and you?
Can I drive?
You do wake up, Linus, is the thing. So
No, you woke up when I threw you down the
yeah,
stairs.
you
Okay.
overslept is the thing. But
I
you
thought
did.
I ended up in something as well.
No,
Sorry.
you did natural one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
you
drive.
rolled a natural one. I
I
was
won.
looking at that like, haha, poor son.
I
Bob.
rolled
I'll drive.
natural.
Oh.
Bob, roll me a d20, please.
Okay.
3. You sleep for 3 more hours, basically.
Oh my god.
Wow, just chilling.
Man is having
Meditate.
a lazy day.
I am meditating well today. Well, I did have an extra mark put on me from another.
Did die recently. Yeah. He's sleeping
Wow.
like the grave.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, Linus. Oh, I just remembered something. Actually, this is
Sleeping
important.
like the dead.
Hmm.
Who wants to go fetch the Auroch?
I'll go pick up the Auroch. I will just go carry it.
Okay, make me an animal handling check. Yeah, it comes fairly quietly.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm okay with animals for some reason.
Yeah, the massive cow just like walks out quite contentedly, looks suspiciously for a brief moment at the cart because it's been completely changed. Like walks into its little like boat section that you set up for it, and starts pedaling.
Nice.
Ah.
God, he snores weird.
Yeah. So the cart sets off. The adventuring party is adventuring again. Pretty much. It's quite. It's like splashing because mostly like the town is a bit flooded. But
Giddy up, giddy up.
Right, so I have no idea if you know how to drive, but I certainly don't, so I'm gonna let you do it anyway.
Does anyone else have one?
land
Vehicle.
vehicles. I think Linus does is the thing. So.
I think I do. Let me check.
It'd be in tool proficiencies.
No, I've got water vehicles.
When you get out,
It is technically
when you
a
get
boat.
out into the pond, it'll be useful. That actually.
Yeah.
But at the moment you're like going, how hard can it be? You've ridden a cart before. You're not the best at it, but you're getting by.
It's basically the same as water.
It is. It looks enough like a boat, so you're feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, which direction are you guys going? This is actually important.
Which
Where are we
is-
going? I'm still half asleep.
Which is the quickest way out of this country?
The fastest way out would be to go north and then walk along the escarpment. That is the pure
Look,
fastest way.
I don't, like, we already had a plan. I don't remember it, I'll be honest.
You guys were debating the plan was the thing. You weren't sure which route you were going to go. The two ways you can basically go that would be beneficial. Roll me if anyone has cartographer's tools proficiency, you can use that to just pass. If nobody has that, roll me a survival check.
Funny
Yeah,
thing
but-
is,
Where are those proficiencies?
Tool
The only-
proficiencies.
the other person who actually has a vague knowledge of some of the country is asleep.
Yep.
Can we go and wake him up?
You can try.
Yeah, let's go and try.
Okay. Zara, roll me a strength check.
Strength?
Mm-hmm.
That's for Zara, because she's trying to wake up the
You're gonna
elf.
smack him.
Smith, if you want to roll a survival check as well.
Oh.
That's a strength save, but it doesn't pass either way.
Oh. No, but then let me do it again. Where's strength check?
It's the same score for you.
Yeah.
No.
It is. You don't wake him up. You punch him real hard. Nothing happens.
I don't have strength anywhere else.
It's the actual ability score. Where it says the actual numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Is how you're supposed to do it. But it doesn't matter because you've not got proficiency in strength saves. So.
Oh, well, never
You
mind.
got even worse! Yeah, you punch him hard, nothing happens. So Linus,
Yeah.
with your 8, actually wait a minute, one person will be helpful. Thank God, okay. Dixie saves the day. So Linus, you're going, well, we want to get out of the country. We obviously go south.
Yeah.
Jay goes, no, we've got to go east. Dixie goes, that is the complete wrong direction. If you want to get out of this country, which is the southern part of the continent, by the way, we need to go either northward if you want to go past the escarpment, or we want to go eastward, which would take a bit longer, but we don't have to go past the escarpment. Which is more time in the water, because the escarpment's got like kind of a sandy beach for most of it nearby.
What's the escarpment? Wait, beach episode?
We have a beach episode.
That time. Sorry.
I can just tell you this one. The escarpment is, because you guys got told this repeatedly, the domain of, where is it? Lanith. The
Do we-
Spider Titan.
We want to meet a Titan. I kind of want to meet a Titan. I feel like it's a poor decision, but I kind of want to do it.
She's not. You've been told she's not the most unreasonable, but she might decide to eat you, or children might decide to eat you. But
I want to give a Titan a business card.
Like a giant titan.
She's a spider the size of a city.
Oh.
Sounds big.
Imagine the size of the webs.
Mhm.
I wonder if I could make anything from silk that thick.
Mm-mm.
Kinda.
It's like what? It's supposed to have like really high tensile strength.
It's got a much higher tensile strength than steel. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the crafter in me is getting. Yeah, no. My vote's that way.
You wanna go with the spider? Shadow Elf doesn't get a vote because he's unconscious.
Yeah.
Dixie doesn't particularly mind. She is your employee, so she's not choosing to vote.
I'm just gonna go with him.
Okay. Out of curiosity, even though that you've been outvoted if you disagree, Zariel, but which way would you have voted?
Zara.
East.
You'd have gone east. Okay. You've been outvoted.
Northeast.
I mean, you're going that way either way. So
Yeah, but not exactly.
you don't want to go directly north, essentially.
No, I
Yeah,
want
so you'd
to
have
go
gone east.
diagonal.
Yeah, you would have gone east.
Northeast. It's northeast.
Zara, you have to go east, and then you turn north. Is if you want to
Why?
avoid, because basically you'd be avoiding the escarpment area. Is
Still
what you
traveling northeast from your direction, from your starting point, though.
Yes, but your options are north or east. It's where you're going out of town, basically.
I want to go north.
Okay, you're all voting north.
Is that where I'm voting north? Oh.
I just have this gut feeling that the Shadow Elf is the only one that wouldn't have
Yeah.
voted this way.
I also agree. I think the Shadow Elf would not have voted to go north. Cool. So yeah,
Yeah, Shadow Elf's gonna wake up and wish he was asleep.
so you guys set off outside of the town. You do travel for like 3 hours, fairly like unhassled. You go on the road for a bit, and then the road like turns off quite a bit, so you start having to go over the water. Make me a water vehicles check, Linus. Dexterity based, this particular one.
So, I click on the tool, yeah?
It should be dex based.
What the bloody hell?
Yeah. You put it into the water completely smoothly, absolutely masterfully.
I've never heard that sailing song before.
It's a common
Yeah.
smuggling song in this world.
Yeah. You know, I heard the. That's my other one. It's my alter ego one.
Okay, after about 3 hours, Shadow Elf, you wake up. You can hear water around you. You're in a bag.
What the hell?
You're in a bag. There's a nice soup next to you, though.
Yeah, there's a quite warm pot of tub of soup next to you.
Cold.
No, it's still warm.
A worm?
Cup of soup, mate.
What? I probably would have ripped out the pillowcase as I formed back into me.
Make me a strength check.
Okay. Strength check.
I hope this man cannot fight his way out of a cardboard box.
Yep, you are stuck in the pillow. You like swell up and you go, ah!
What the bloody hell? Where am I?
The bag is bouncing on the spot like a
I'm
Pokeball.
gonna use my natural magics to tear my way out.
Yeah, you can. Boom!
What the bloody hell's going on?
Shh, you're gonna scare the fish. Can I go fishing while
can
we're in
go.
the water?
You can go fishing, yes. We'll get to that in a moment.
Where?
Well,
Where's
I'm
the
driving a
soup?
boat.
Why have I got to... we're in the car already? What? Oh.
It's about midday.
What the...
Yeah, at the moment.
Whoa. What happened?
You
Why did I
slept.
sleep?
Stuff happened.
I don't normally zone out for that long.
You must have been very tired.
Where
Yeah,
are we?
You didn't even wake up when I punched a hole in the floor to pick you up.
Oh yeah, there's a big
Okay.
chunk of wood, like, in the bag with you.
Okay, that explains the wood, but why the soup?
You know what would have been funny if you put him in baggy by accident?
Oh god, I'd have killed him!
I look at Baggy and go, here, have some soup.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Baggy's back in the game.
Bag is back in the game.
I said
Again.
this.
I give Baggy the soup knowing I can't eat it.
I got you that specially in case you woke up feeling peckish.
I don't eat.
I thought it might have changed since you started becoming more like a dog.
I will say, Baggy takes a little, like, sniff of it, bites it, then starts really ravenously eating it, and is glowing slightly now.
I haven't fed Baggy in ages.
Man, I think that was really good food.
It was.
I think I've literally fed Baggy every time I eat.
You have, yes. You said you were giving Baggy food every time, pretty much.
Okay, that's good.
Otherwise, Baggy's gonna start eating people. So.
Look at the fella go.
Oh, yeah. Baggy is currently, by the way, got a massive amount of buffs on it, because that was actually one of, like, the best dishes that place sold.
Well,
Yep.
I want to move to the front of the cart and looking at the orc in his new happy place.
He's quite content. He's got he's got the expression that giant cows usually have on their face. Incomprehension.
And cow now. Oh, is this more to your suiting now? This little pillow they built for you?
It looks over its shoulder. It pauses for a good 10 seconds and goes, sure.
Okay. Why did I understand you? I've never understood you before.
Pauses for another 10 seconds. Don't know.
Okay, this is weird. Apparently now I can speak to animals.
Pause for another 10 seconds. Okay.
Good.
Its
Are you
words
happy?
echo in your mind. You're becoming a dog.
I'm mooing now at the person.
Yeah, he's just started mooing, like, kind of noises are coming out of his mouth. And then every so often there's a from the Auroch.
Are you happy with your new compartment for dragging the cart?
Pause for another 10 seconds. Sure.
Is there anything you want?
Pause for another 10 seconds. Grass.
Okay. We'll get you some grass next time we stop somewhere. Turn round to the other person. Apparently he wants grass.
It's a cow, of course.
What kind? I've got a few friends in the underground connection, you know.
He
So
kind
you
of
have to
drug the cow.
Damascus grass.
I don't think he's very particular.
Where's the place with the life dragon?
Neria.
I've heard Narian grass is the good stuff.
You actually would
Yeah.
know Neria doesn't have grass.
If it did, whew,
They have undergrowth. It's a giant forest on mountains, is Neria's. There's no grass. There's everything
there
else.
was that's because the grass grows into trees. It's just that much life energy.
You're not too wrong, actually.
Oh, what direction did we end up taking? I mean, I
The
know
good one.
vaguely some of the route I took down here, if I can recall.
Yeah, don't worry. We took the good route.
What's the good route?
Make me a
Well,
survival
we
check.
all just kind of decided to go north.
Yeah, we're going to the beach.
Survival check?
Yep, make me a survival check.
Okay.
Yep. You can tell you guys are moving due north.
Due north. What was due north again?
Nice
The
day for a
beach.
boat ride.
Oh shit, we're going there.
We're going to the escarpment.
Why are we going to the escarpment?
We took a boat, and we all said the escarpment.
And you were
Okay.
asleep.
Yeah. Sleeping people don't get boats.
Well, I hope we don't die.
It's weird that you're so afraid of it.
No.
Maybe it
Uh,
doesn't like
Comes
Not
for
so
us
much
all
now.
eventually.
I'm
Won't come for
coming
me
to
though.
terms with death a bit more better. Anyway,
If I die, I'll just walk it off.
oh, I think the twins would find you very amusing.
So yeah, you travel for a full day. Maybe. Yep.
Here on my boat. Do 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 do.
Actually, if I die, I might go see the Dragon of Death and give them a business card first, and then I'll walk it off.
And get reincarnated as a skeleton pig.
Okay, so it gets to about 5 o'clock. Like you're still like going strong through the swamp. You had to go over land for a few bits, but mostly it's been water travel.
Cow's alright.
The cow's fine.
I'm amazing at making boats,
Oh
apparently.
yeah, that's the point. Smith, roll me. Do you have? I'm assuming you don't have fishing tools.
No.
Okay. You've got like a stick with a bit of like rope on it. I'm assuming is
I
your.
do
rod.
have scuba gear that does not fit me.
Oh yeah, you do. I forgot about that. Yep. So you're trying to fish. Roll me a. Yeah, this will still be a survival check. Roll me a survival check.
Oh, okay. I didn't get to go to the shops as well.
Nah, you don't catch anything.
See, this is because you're being so noisy.
You're scaring the fish. Okay. After and yeah, that was basically the check I had to do. Okay, so about 5 o'clock in the evening. Roll me perception checks, everybody. Linus with advantage.
Alright.
Nice.
Oh, that was lucky. It's still
Yeah.
terrible. But...
17's good, actually. 17 passes. So, Linus, for you, it feels a bit weird around, like, yeah, as you, like, just casually doing the steering for the boat. It's a bit like, you suddenly feel like there's a bit more drag. You're going a little slower than you thought you were.
oh, no.
Shadow Elf.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely notice they're going a bit slower. You also start feeling like a bit of a vibration around the bottom of the boat.
Would be in the sandways. What's going? Oh,
You're in the water at the moment.
well, what would be? What a creature could be here?
Yeah, something's maybe attached to the boat, guys. I don't know. I'm losing speed.
Keep it down, Kate. And I'm gonna ask her, or if she knows any sea creatures around about this area.
Any water creatures? Oh, there's a ton. I don't know what. We'd probably have noticed a lot of them by now, though. So I don't know anything specific. I didn't get out of town much.
Okay. Well, we seem to be traveling slower, and there's a bit of a vibration around the boat. So I'm a little concerned. Smith?
Hmm?
Would you like to go check
Check what?
under the boat?
I should send the man who absorbs water into the water.
Hey! Oh, shit, yes.
But do it quietly.
You know
Actually, I'll
what?
go.
Here you go. I'll pass him I'll pass the scuba gear out. Whoever
I will-
wants to go can go.
I'll go because I know how to swim in water.
Yeah, and I'm
Let
driving.
me know if my bait's still on my rod while you're down there.
Okay. I guess I go out one of the back door of the wagon,
Okay.
and
You look
I'm
down.
gonna
Around your boat, the
Uh-huh.
water is much darker.
okay.
Like immediately around your boat. Not like a huge area around it, but like a little bit around it is like almost pitch black. Well, the rest of the water is like kind of a murky colour.
I'm going to stick my head under the water and see if I can see it.
Okay, are you trying to be stealthy or are you just trying to gonna do it?
I guess I'm trying to do it quickly and
Okay.
sort of stealthily.
For that one
About to
then,
get decapitated.
make me a dexterity check then.
Okay.
21. You put your head super fast into the water, like in, looks around, out. Make me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, wrong button. Where- oh,
10. Ooh,
10.
unfortunate. Yeah, it was just really murky and dark. You didn't really see much.
shit.
You think you're gonna have to
See
go
anything
in?
back there?
I'm going.
Was my bait still on my rod?
I went in too quick. I'm going to have to do this a bit. Oh, okay. I'm gonna, out of my darkness, make a sort of length of something to, so they can pull me back and wrap it around me.
Make a rope, basically.
Yeah, a rope of darkness, but sort of denser and stronger.
Okay, how many points are you using?
I'm using all,
All of them? Okay.
so it's tight around me and tight enough that they can pull me in without snapping.
Zariel,
Oh,
while this is happening, Zariel, can you do me a favour?
Yeah.
Can you please make me a perception check with advantage, because hearing?
Oh.
Continue on, Shadow Elf.
Into the water I go.
Okay, you jump in.
Boom.
Nice. Zariel, as he jumps into the water, on the bottom of the boat, Like, you can quite clearly hear it. The others you think is a bit out of their range, because you've got very good ears. You start hearing, like, a grinding sound under your feet.
Grinding sound under my feet.
Kind of the similar sound you get if you have, like, a cheese grater on wood.
Mm-hmm.
Will be the best description for that. And you hear it in multiple places under the boat. Shadow Elf, are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just dive in?
I'm diving in.
Okay then. You turn around and look towards the boat.
Yeah.
Underneath it, you see about 10 really long, pitch black shapes, just like jutting down from the underside of the boat. They're like long, slim, kind of eel-like, but they have a very flat head, and the flat head is like grinding up against the bottom of the boat.
Oh, razor eels.
Not really, not quite. You're close.
I don't know, I'm just guessing. I don't even see them, so you know.
Yeah. Make me a nature check.
Nature.
Okay, you've seen similar things to these, like not exactly the same, but these look fairly similar to you, to essentially lampreys. But they're not exactly. They're much bigger for one. Each one's like 20 feet long, but they're quite slim, each of them. And they appear to be trying to burrow their way through the base of the boat. Now then, because you weren't stealthy, one of the shapes turns around, like unlatches, and you see it like big blades on the front of its face, like in a circular maw, and it makes an attack roll against you. Everybody roll initiative.
Okay.
Don't even get.
This
How are
is
they
the
gonna
surprise
fight?
round, essentially.
Okay.
I
Does
don't know where
a
initiative is.
17 hit.
Nope.
Nope. Then it clangs off of your armor plating.
Oh, here it is.
Wait, are we all rolling? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have to put the thing up. Give me a sec.
Wait.
I've lost the initiative
It
checker.
said. Why don't I know? Can't see her.
There
Yeah,
we
wait.
go.
Sorry, we got to wait for the tokens first.
Oh, I have to. Oh,
Your tokens
sorry.
are already up. You have to click them though.
Oh, I have to go down to the bottom of the page and do that annoying thing.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh,
I had a 16 when I rolled. I can change that.
why
Amazing.
can't someone just click my token for me? Because I can never
Because
get
you
to
have
it.
to. Because it won't register the
Because
you.
Because
If you-
otherwise we would have control over your character
Have I
completely.
clicked it? Has that happened yet?
You'll know if
With
like
a
3
4.
circles appear.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got
but
three
apparently
circles.
it's not deleted a lot of the other stuff. So 4, Smith got a 16, you said?
And
Yeah, I changed it. It's good.
Oh, it's not changed on my end.
that
well
came
then-
up at all.
Okay,
other
well, I
than me.
clicked it and I'm not sure why it's not working.
One moment.
Pick a different one.
No,
You're
it's,
gonna do.
I think it's bugged.
Hmm.
Okay, just do it again.
Okay. The trackers went weird for me.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why.
gonna refresh and see if that fixes any.
I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah, I think Roll20 just bugged out.
Yeah. And because I refreshed, the turn order is empty.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Oh. And that was just a
Did
20.
mine worked? Yeah, mine worked.
Here I am. God,
Let's
so many
roll.
tokens. So I'll roll again. Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Everyone change your initiatives to what they actually are.
16.
Ezra, I need you to do it again.
Did it work now?
Yeah, you've got it. Now you've got to click on the initiative.
$17.
Haha.
Nice. Yeah. I just count it as like it was a reset for initiative because the entire thing just bugged completely. So, we're good. Okay, so, Linus, you have no idea what's going on.
No.
So, what do you want to do? You still know that the boat is moving considerably slower, though.
Have I witnessed Bob get attacked or?
No, you've seen him jump
Heard
into
it.
the water, but you're at the wrong end of the boat.
Right.
And I wouldn't have moved enough to jerk anything or anything like that.
Okay. So I'm not aware of anything at all.
You know that the boat is moving a bit slower, so you can do like some
Okay.
investigations or something if you'd
Yeah,
like.
I think I'm gonna go to see where Bob went out the back to see if I can see him, and then obviously go with the intention of asking him what's going on. You know.
Yeah, you see a long black rope, I'm assuming attached to Smith, made of shadows, and you see like a bit of blackness in the water a bit further away, and you see that the boat is surrounded by like a bit more dark water than you've seen around the rest of the place. So, but it was just out of your line of sight from where you were sitting in like the steering area, essentially.
Okay. So I guess I'll ask Smith what's going on. I can't do anything combat-y, can I?
I mean, you can, but you don't know what currently is happening, so.
Yeah. Or I think it's better I find out what's happening first.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess I hope you pull him up.
Yeah, the L, went under to check what was going on. I asked him to check my bait, see if it was still there. I don't think they've come back up yet.
Yeah, it's been 6 seconds, for reference, so.
Did I see if his bait was still bloody there?
Maybe a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Me?
No, this is a
Not
Shadow
me.
Elf one for a bit of fun.
Alright.
9, no chance.
You can't see it. You can't even see the hook, to be honest. You're currently concerned by the giant lamprey trying to eat you.
I have no idea that violence is currently happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he hasn't even moved yet, is the thing, so he hasn't,
No.
like, jerked in anyway. So. Okay. So, do you want to ready an action or anything, Linus? Like, just say what your character you think could do.
I'd just be like, well, where is he? What's going on? We're slowing down. I'd have to. I would wait for him to tell us what's going on. you know?
Okay.
Since I'm blissfully unaware of what's happening.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I'll just pass on or whatever.
Okay. It's the ad's turn! So, because there is now food in the water as far as they're concerned, all 10 lampreys turn towards you, Bob. The boat's starting to speed up now, though, Linus. You have noticed that.
What?
And they're all going to attack you, Bob. That is a 9. That does not hit. That is also a 9. That's an 18.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, I think this one might hit. 24.
Yep, that has.
Okay. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please. And you take... Oh, dear. You take 22 points of piercing damage. And you take...
22 piercing damage.
Yep. 14 necrotic damage.
Oh, I'm trying to die out here.
And you are paralyzed for 1 minute.
And underwater, still.
He can breathe underwater. He also doesn't need to breathe.
Yeah.
But you are paralyzed now.
Paralyzed.
Yep.
Fuck.
Now for the next one. 19?
Nope.
Okay. 19 again, so still misses. 7.
Nope.
Yeah. This is the last one, I believe. Ooh. 26.
Yep.
Yep, okay. Make me another Constitution saving throw, please.
Everyone.
Nope, you are good for that.
It's Tim.
So you
Aw.
take 15
Why'd you-
points of piercing damage, Shadow Elf. So 2 of the lampreys have just like bitten into you on 2 different sections. You're managing, like,
Okay.
one of them is like not on a particularly bad spot, it's like kind of half buried. The other one is on you very solidly and is currently like pumping some unfortunate toxins into your body, even though it's
Oh.
magic.
Paralyzed condition.
Yeah, you have the paralyzed condition. Okay, Zara, whatever you're doing, please stop.
Sorry, my headset got a bit muddled.
Okay. Speaking of Zara, it's your turn.
Oh, good.
Well, I guess we can now probably tell her that we're feeling some sort of vibrations, but then she knows because she's got hearing, hasn't she?
I
Yes.
felt it already.
Shit.
They all went
Amy,
off the boat.
You're gonna have to roll a bit more damage on that bite.
Oh yeah?
It's a crit.
Yeah, paralyzed. Oh.
Oh yeah, it was actually. You still pass the con save, so you don't take the necrotic damage at least. That is 32 points actually instead of 15.
So, how many? It was 14 initially.
It was 15 originally. You take an additional 17 points of damage.
Okay.
It didn't roll crazy high for it, so
I'm not looking good.
yeah, it's not good.
Shadow Elf really trying to die.
Okay. So yeah, Zariel, the grinding noise you hear has stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Smith are at the end of the boat, and Smith is holding a shadow made rope.
Yes. The Shadow Elf has
That's
jumped.
where. That's all we know right now.
Because the worst part, the Shadow Elf is made of shadows, so it doesn't bleed, so you can't even see any red coming up.
So I don't really know what to do here.
Well, you had something attacking the boat at the very least.
Yeah, you know there was something in the water that has now stopped, and
I
your
want to
friend
go
has
and
jumped
see.
into the water, so you can actually possibly deduce something has changed.
Couldn't you send your pet in?
Yeah, I was thinking about sending my pet in, but like I don't know because can it transform?
Nope.
No, it can't transform anymore.
So what? I'm sure I can still do something. Right? Or are you going to stick your head under and see?
Can it create a magic bubble around itself which allows it to breathe under?
Does it need to breathe? That's the question.
It
Yes,
does.
it does need
It
to.
does. It drowned,
It drowned.
remember before.
Oh yeah.
Actually, weirdly enough, Zara, yes it can. If you ask it to do that.
Cool.
Because of the type of magic it has, yes it actually would be able to do that. That is within its purview.
Right. Bubble yourself.
Okay. Basically, your little fox is going to jump into the water, and when it jumps in, it's going to make like a big glowing gold orb around it, which is just... It's not really making a bubble. It's just forcing all the water away from it.
Mhm.
It would funny if it bubbled and then just Hearthstone.
Full heart, Paladin!
I would have laughed if it just kind of floated on the top like a beach ball.
Yeah. Oh, like those giant balls that you get in and fight each other.
Interesting enough, actually, it would actually light up the water. So you guys can see, under the water, the Shadow Elf being attacked by 10 very long, thin shapes. You can't really tell what they are, but there's like 10 very long,
I'll
snake-like
I'll
things
just be like,
moving
make a
towards them,
joke
and
to
2 of them are
Smith,
attached.
be like, he couldn't fight his way out of a bag, now he's probably fighting seaweed.
While we can see though, is my bait still on my hook?
Wrong side of the boat.
Real
The light
It's all
doesn't
just
quite go long
Wriggly
enough.
lines.
You can make a perception check with disadvantage if you'd like.
disadvantage. Oh,
Yeah, 19. There is still bait on the hook. You can just make out the little piece of pie that you put on it.
nice. That was important to me.
Okay, Zariel. That is going to use 5 points of natural magic, basically, to keep your fox in the bubble.
Okay.
So you've still got stuff to do. Do you want to do anything else? Or you're gonna leave the Shadow Elf to probably die next turn.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, I mean,
There's one thing I need to check.
I want to help him. How? Get my pet to go under
It already is.
and rescue him.
It's a tiny fox. How are you going
And
to rescue
bring
him?
him up for air. Take a rope. Take a rope. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
Ready on.
Right.
I'm already
He's
on. the
already
rope.
on a rope.
Oh, is that why
Alright.
was a shadowy rope in my hand?
Yes,
Yes.
Why aren't we pulling on the rope?
because you didn't know
Is
it was
it
in
in the-
danger.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Should we pull on the rope?
Well, you can see the shapes, so why don't you just shoot lightning or something? Fuck
No,
it.
'cause you kill
No,
me as
because my
well.
pet's in there.
Yeah, your pet will be fine.
To be honest,
No.
if you kill your pet, it just teleports back next to you. You know this.
Yeah.
True.
I
If you
am
use it.
after you,
It
and I
won't
do
trust
have
me.
water walk, so I'm gonna shoot him to the surface in a second.
He already can water walk. Actually, it wouldn't affect him.
Ow.
No, if he can just innately, like, the issue is like if I cast water walk on him, he literally rises to the surface.
Oh, is that part of the
water
spell?
At a rate of 60 feet per round. Yeah,
Ah, fair enough then.
like he can't go underwater if I cast it on him. So it'll launch him out. It'll be great. And then I'll make a baseball glove out of my rocks and catch him. It'll be my catch of the day.
Ah, yes,
And then
our
I'll make
first catch
jokes
of the
about
day.
eating them.
Well, something else is trying to beat you to that, so.
Yeah.
Okay, Zariel, do you want to do anything else with the rest of your turn?
The lampreys.
Yeah, I just don't know what to do.
You've got options. You can fireball the water if you like. You can.
What's that going to do? It's water.
It's
But
a-
maybe the eels aren't typical eels that are susceptible to lightning, so you have to think about it.
they're not eels, I wish to point out. They're lamprey. Lamprey are different.
Mm.
Or it's lamprey-like, at least. Lamprey aren't usually 20 feet long, either.
I mean, an easy way to help is just throw food in so they have options other than our party member.
You can try that. Yeah. I don't want to give you too much help, Zara, because this is, like, the point. But you can do anything you like. What would you do in this situation?
I would probably start panicking.
Okay, you're allowed to panic. That is an option you can
No, I
take.
don't want to. No, I'm going to. Hang on. So my pet's
I've got
underwater.
something.
Yep.
And isn't doing anything.
You haven't told it to do anything else.
Right. Well, go underwater and I don't know. Grab him and start trying to pull him up.
Oh god, okay. So the fox like pads over in its little bubble of force to the shadow elf because it's got the movement for it. Bob, make me a Constitution saving throw.
On saving throw.
Yep,
Again,
yep. Okay.
17.
Zara, what's your spell save DC?
Spell. Save. Where is that?
It's on the last page. It's one of the. It's the big number at the top.
18.
Okay, you fail. You take.
Oh.
No, yeah, he has failed your con save. You take 15 points of force damage, Bob,
Oh,
Oh.
as the
The
bludgeoning
energy-
bubble just smacks into you.
yeah, the energy that it shoots a laser with, it just made a bubble around itself of it.
Ow.
Okay, I see.
Very much ow.
Wait, oh, could I, like, fastball special your fox at someone's face while it's in an orb?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, yeah, volleyball.
Is it me yet?
Not yet, no.
Oh, what the hell
Your
else is in
party
front
have to finish helping you.
What else has got in front of...
Zariel's got to finish her turn, then it's Smith, then it's you.
Right. So. Do we even know what's down under the boat? No, right?
You know there's long, like, long, slim shapes in the water that appear to be assaulting the Shadow Elf? But it might be seaweed, it might be fish, you're not entirely sure.
Yeah, me and Linus think he's
Well,
being
can't my
attacked by
fox come up
seaweed.
and tell me?
It can't talk.
Yeah, but I can understand stuff. Remember, I have tongue.
You haven't cast it.
Well, let me cast it now then, quickly.
Okay, how long does it take to cast?
How am I supposed to know?
It says on the
It'll
spell.
tell you on the spell.
Oh,
Tongues takes... Oh, it does take an action.
What?
I also don't think your fox speaks a language, though, because I think you've tried this before. It doesn't speak a language. So...
Is it you?
okay, so what am I supposed to do then?
I don't know, whatever you like.
Not understand it.
Yeah.
Fine, I'm just gonna zap the water. Go.
Okay,
Oh,
what?
for fuck.
You're going to, Shocking Grasp, I think is your lightning spell, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a touch spell.
You can do it on the water, though. You can touch the water
Touch
and
the
it
water.
conducts a bit. It's got an area of effect if you touch water
Uh-huh.
with it. Okay, roll me an attack roll, please, Zara.
Bob trying to die out
Sorry
here.
if you die. How do I do that?
Click Shocking Grasp on the first page.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't see it.
Right down.
Middle of the
feet,
page.
right?
No, it's middle of the page. Where the attacks are. Remember you press your Ironwood staff at the start of the session, Zara, to test it?
Yeah.
One of those is
I
Shocking
don't-
Grasp.
Oh, yeah, shocking grass.
Click it.
Huh.
23, that hits. It has in water as a cantrip. It has a 10-foot range. It catches one of the lampreys, and you do 15 lightning damage. It, like, violently starts thrashing about in the water. It's not one of the ones attached to him, but it does. The shape, you all see, the shape under the water is violently thrashing now.
I guess seaweed is allergic to electricity.
Yeah, man, that's a good analogy.
You did good work. Good work, Zara. That's pretty much all you can do, I think. But you did
Thanks.
good. You nearly
Okay,
killed
good.
Bob, but you did good damage as well. So.
Well, I mean, you know, people are gonna die.
You didn't do it hard enough, so we have to really kill him next time.
Smith, it's your turn now.
Cool. Hey, I'm gonna do the thing I said,
Yeah.
where I cast Water Walk on the Shadow Elf and then make a catcher's mitt out of stone so I can catch him
Okay,
out of
click
the
it.
air when he inevitably gets launched.
Click it. Action range 30 feet. 10 willing creatures you can see within range. Yep. Piece of cork. Liquid surface, just water and mud, snow, quicksand, or lava. Harmless solid ground. Take damage from the heat of 10 willing creatures you can see within range of this ability. I'm assuming you're willing, Bob.
I'll just stick this on everyone without telling anyone and just be like, it's easy, just walk on the water, guys, it's not hard.
No.
Walk it on, walk it off.
Did you say you're not willing, Bob?
No.
Alright.
What?
No, I have a reason for this.
He doesn't come
Cool,
up.
I guess my action gets wasted.
It does go on to everybody else, though.
It does go on everyone else. And now I'm annoyed. So now I'm going to,
Because I don't know that you're directing a spell at me. I'm busy being attacked.
You do feel like basically a permission from Smith. Are you okay with it?
No,
Yeah.
No?
I got an idea.
Alright.
Alright, well then I'm gonna pull him out using the rope and bitch slap him onto the boat using the giant stone mitt instead.
Okay, make me
Because he's
a...
irritated me.
Okay, I'm assuming... If the Shadow Wolf has a plan, do you want to contest this, Bob? Actually, you can't. You're paralyzed. Never mind. Yeah,
I
roll
can
me...
drop concentration on my rope.
It's not been your turn yet.
I had an idea that was less dangerous for me.
It's fine. Smith still has to roll it. Smith, roll me a strength check. Actually, this is athletics. Roll me athletics. 29. Yep. That's not a great roll for you, actually. But yeah, you heave him out of the water. He flies through the air. 2 giant lampreys just like attached to his body and lands in a heap. He is going to take...
Can I
Don't
just
forget,
be in
like,
there still?
no, because
I want
I'm bitch
in there.
slapping you down onto the boat with a hand made out of many stones.
Okay.
Fuck's sake, I could save myself some damage here and not instantly die.
Should have accepted the one that wouldn't have damaged you.
Okay, roll me. How many natural magic points are you using?
The question is, do I actually see that these are lampreys instead of seaweed at this point?
They are definitely not seaweed. They are some kind of
Definitely not
weird, long
seaweed.
tendril thing, which is appeared to be biting the elf.
I'll put 5 points in, but I'll make sure to aim for the lamprey when I smack them. You know, be
Okay.
nice about it.
Roll me a sleight of hand check, Smith.
Ah. Well, you see, here's the issue with that.
You miss the lamprey. Well, you hit the lamprey. You also hit him. Roll
Yeah.
me 5d6.
Yeah, this is fine.
I'm definitely down.
How
I
much-
could have got this without being down.
You take 14 points of bludgeoning
I'm
damage.
down.
You do get to do your get
I
back up
can't.
again. Why?
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
But I'm down, and what was the overall? I had 9 health points left, and the damage was
14.
14. Oh, with +5, so I need to make a. Where is it?
I think it's Constitution.
I'm looking for it now. But into the grave. Where are you? Damage. Make a
That was a
Christmas
save.
saving throw.
Nice. Roll it.
Alright.
Fairly sure that passes. So.
It's a damage +5.
Is it actually the damage plus 5? Is it the damage that took you over the top, or is it?
Let's see. When damage just to 0, you make a charisma saving throw of 5 plus the damage taken. On a success, you damage taken.
Ah, you failed then.
Yep.
You're 0. Bonk.
I'm gonna use my thing to roll. I'm gonna use inspiration to try and.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You need 19. Hey, nice. You're at 1 hit point. You start to fade, and then a little bit of your teachings go. You don't die like that. You die like this, and you're fine. You're at 1 hit point.
On the boat.
Paralyzed.
Paralyzed on the boat, being bitten by lampreys, which have taken 14 damage though.
Good
Oh.
job, buddy.
And that's definitely not seaweed, Linus. I don't know what you
Yeah,
were
I guess
thinking.
you're right. Unless
many
there's
teeth for
wild
seaweed.
in Neria, you know, that's some dangerous seaweed, I tell you.
Do I know anything about Nerian seaweed? Does it have teeth?
I could
Neria
do.
doesn't have an ocean.
But you can tell I'm bluffing, you see, for
Yeah,
conversation's
yeah.
sake.
You're in Netris. You don't know about Netris seaweed. Weirder things have happened. You were attacked
You
by
know-
catfish in this area.
I hear Netris seaweed is weird as well.
Yeah, you know, I'd believe that. We did go fishing and catch a giant catfish recently.
Yeah.
And you saw a crocodile and a hydra. It's like there's weird shit in this water.
Seaweed's
Yeah.
scary.
Hydras are like common. I don't want to deal with them, but they're common.
Okay. Do you want to do anything else, Smith?
You can't cast a spell as a bonus action because it's cast one as an action, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless it's a cantrip.
I don't have a I was gonna healing word you, but I can't. So
Is it healing word? Oh no, that's a leveled spell, yeah.
yeah. In which case, I guess. You know what? I'll be nice. I'll use the remaining 5 of my
6. You leveled.
the remaining 6 of my natural magic for this round, and just try and coat the shadow elf so that the lamprey can't bite him.
They're already biting into him.
Oh.
Those two.
Oh.
so.
God, I don't know. Wait, I have a fish hook.
You do, I guess.
I'm gonna try and fish those bad boys off them. Let's
Okay,
go.
you're gonna just make me a sleight of hand check first.
That's not to be put down again.
Okay, yeah, you successfully don't stab the shadow elf. You get the hook into one of the lampreys.
Would he have killed him if you got the hook in him?
He would have
for
dropped
1
him.
HP.
He would have dropped him, yes. Now then, Smith, roll me. This is the easy part for you. Roll me athletics. Actually, no, correction. Actually, isn't athletics. Roll me a medicine check.
Oh, a medicine check.
This is to
Believe
carefully do it without it ripping out a piece of the elf and possibly killing him.
Believe it or not, proficient in medicine.
Yeah, I know you are. That's why it's fine. Okay, you successfully pull the lamprey off in just the right way that it doesn't rip a chunk of shadow off.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it with the other one as well? Or do you want to save that for Linus? Or the
I'll-
shadow
I'll-
elf do it himself?
I'll let Linus or the Shadow Elf do it themselves. I
I'm
will
gonna
use
shoot it.
natural magic to shove rocks into this lamprey's mouth though, so it can't eat me.
Okay, yeah. You hold it, it's
This'll be
thrashing
dinner.
around quite violently.
I'm a properly butcher this one and serve it for dinner. It'll be great.
Eel's pretty tasty, to be fair. Apparently lamprey is pretty tasty. Okay, Shadow Elf, it's finally your turn. You're paralysed.
Okay, I'm gonna expend 1 sorcery point not to have to use verbal or somatic and cast fucking Armor of Agathis on myself, giving myself
Some temporary hit.
10,
You
15.
you are paralyzed?
I have subtle spell. I can do it with
you don't-
verbal or somatic
I'm-
components.
I don't think you can take actions when you're paralyzed. It's nothing to do with verbal or somatic.
No, technically you're Actually, wait, yeah, he's incapacitated.
It doesn't say anything about not taking any action.
Oh, an incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions.
Yeah.
There.
It's not under
Mm.
paralysis, it's
Indeed.
paralysis gives you incapacitated. Incapacitated stops you taking actions.
Yeah.
So you're kind of stuck.
And I'll give you incapacitated as well.
It does give you incapacitated.
Yep.
Top.
Uh,
A paralyzed creature is incapacitated and can't move or speak. Automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against creature have advantage, which I didn't actually roll, so you're lucky. Any attack that hits the creature is a crit, which I didn't roll that one.
I guess I get my spell slot back and I just...
You get your spell slot back, and you do get
Wait,
your natural
I
magic
went
back.
I went down and then came back up. Wouldn't the
No,
effect go off?
no.
Ah, for fuck's
It
sake.
is this particular one is an incapac. You are paralyzed for 1 minute unless it is removed. It isn't a saving throw, get riddable one. You are just
Okay.
paralyzed.
I just said that.
You've only got
I
you've
did.
only got one more lamprey in you, at
Yeah.
least.
You're out of the water. Gotta be
I
honest.
guess I sit there and do fuck all.
Yeah, you are paralyzed on the floor, twitching slightly.
Every fucking thing I could have done.
And you rejected my plan because you thought you could do something.
I was like, I'm curious what he's thinking of doing while paralyzed, but I'm not going to
I
stop
could have
him.
spent sorcery points to do things, but apparently I'm incapacitated as well. That fucked me over.
Paralyzed,
Paralyzed, a bitch.
paralyzed, pretty bad, yeah.
Didn't see the part of not stopping me actions. That's why I was like,
Yeah. It's because you have to see incapacitated, which is on the first line of it, which is a bit higher.
yeah. Does it stop me doing bonus actions?
Yep, it's all actions and reactions.
As a bonus action, as a type
Go
of action.
sleep.
I will just die then. Fuck you, it's someone else.
I've just realised actually. Wait a minute. Strength of the Grave. Yep, Strength of the Grave does not require an action or bonus action. You are still at least conscious. Linus, it's your turn.
Kill it.
Alright.
There is a giant fish attached to the
Back go, that's not seaweed. You were right, Smith. I was wrong.
I think Smith is still not convinced it's not seaweed, to be fair.
Okay, so how close am I to Bob?
About a foot.
A foot.
You're right next to
Okay.
each other. He just got pulled next to you onto the boat,
And this eel is wiggling around.
violently thrashing its tail. Yeah, 'cause it's out of the water now.
Oh,
There's
but
one
its
also-
head is
It's
attached to him, yeah?
Yeah, this is the one that's not quite on as tightly. Like you can see a bit of the teeth.
But he's clamped on Bob.
It has clamped onto Bob, yeah. The other one is
Okay.
currently with a mouthful of rocks in one of Smith's hands. Or
Alright.
several of Smith's hands, possibly.
I am gonna just go for it and attack it with my Ghost Iron Dagger
Okay,
right in the head.
shank
Instant kill, one shot, brain twist. You know?
it. You have an ally within 5 feet of it, definitely, so roll attack.
Okay. Ghost Iron. Yeah.
You somehow managed to miss the eel.
What the? Tell me I stab Bob and kill him.
No, you didn't miss that badly. It's
You
like
didn't roll
thrashing
on
Wouldn't
that
quite.
hit me.
It's thrashing quite badly, and you like stab a bit into the wood as the eel like moves Bob to the side.
Yeah.
You
To
wouldn't
be fair,
even
this
hit me
sounds
with
about
that.
right.
You rolled a 3, dude. I can't really do much for that.
It says I rolled a 12.
I mean, you rolled a 3. It's got a +9 modifier to it.
Oh god, I'm that bad.
You're all real bad.
Bloody hell.
They have an armor class of more than 12.
Yeah. Oh well. Sorry, Bob. I tried, Shadow Elf.
No, it's
You
this
lied there,
fucking Jamie's
paralysed.
fucking paralyzed. Fucking.
I just like look at you whilst your blank fixed face stares at me, and I'm just like shrug.
You can try to pull it off if you like.
Well, I just used my attack, didn't I?
Yeah, that's your action. You still have
Oh.
like other stuff to do.
Don't you have 2 attacks?
No, he's a rogue.
Uh,
No, I'm gonna move back a bit.
You're gonna leave.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the other side, but still have a line of sight. Because I'm gonna shoot it next turn.
Like the knife thing didn't work out for you.
No, so I'm gonna
fucking
fucking shoot it.
Dixie is looking quite concerned, sitting comfortably in the cart with a cup of tea.
Doesn't she get a combat go? Oh,
She's
no,
not a
yet,
combat
right?
character. She's not.
non-combat character.
I mean, to be fair, we are meant to be training her, so if you could convince her that this is a good time to train, maybe.
You can if you like. Yeah.
Well, she's your like
Oh,
retainer, isn't she?
You're all paying her.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think this is a good time for training, but it is like the beginning of her training, so I'll ask her to, you know, try and kill the one that I've caught, not the one that's on the Shadow Elf, because the Shadow Elf will probably die if she looks up.
She just picks up a teapot, smashes it, kills the elf outright. roll.
Actually, you know what? How much, looking at her right now, how much confidence do I have in her?
Roll
Like,
me a charisma save.
Charisma save.
You do not feel in any way confident that this sheep can kill these giant fish.
That means you should go for it.
This
I
girl-
guarantee you she'll definitely kill it.
This is basically there's a sheep girl sitting essentially in pajamas on like a work surface, drinking up a cup of tea and watching with mild concern.
That does sound like Zara's best friend.
You know,
Hey.
I was thinking this might be training time.
It's
You
day
know,
one.
I think it's day one, so maybe just take notes for now. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
So agreeable, good girl.
She's great, yeah.
Who did you just call a good girl?
The sheep.
Our sheep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we dating, Zariel?
I thought we were.
No, I
We're
don't know
not.
you.
What do you mean you don't know me?
Oh my god. we're not
I want to
getting
point out Zariel. I wish
You had dream of pirate me.
He did.
you did.
I did what?
You can't argue with that. That's in an episode.
You got
there.
That's on
Dream
TV.
of pirate me. Everyone knows that you're in love with me.
I threw a pie at you.
Oh my
Pirate.
God, I can't. I don't even want to date you. I'm so
pirate you,
deaf.
right.
It's my whole life shouting at you.
Okay, I'd say that is Linus's turn. The ads. I'm going to do you a favour, Bob, and I'm going to roll the lamprey on you first.
Okay.
9, but he's got advantage because you're paralysed. 20?
Fuck!
Damn it! Well, it doesn't matter. It can't outright kill you, so you're just out, essentially. You do need to make me another con save, though. Yep, you're paralyzed for an additional minute.
Amazing. It's on him deeper now, I would assume.
Yeah, pretty much. It's more securely clamped down to him. And he has... I'd say he's slumped, but, like, the light has gone out a bit from one of his eyes.
Hmm.
Is the best description. The others... one of them... Actually... Oh, wait a minute. I just realised what they're going to do. They're going to attack your fox, Zara. But it's in a bubble of pure force. And they're not powerful enough to get through it. So they're all just going to take damage. Zara, roll me 2d8 force damage, please.
Man, creatures being stupid is always
So
fun.
Roll me 2d8.
write two?
/ roll 2d8.
Yes, that's it.
4.
Oh dear.
They all take 4 force damage as a group. So each one of them takes 4.
Anyone still have any of the powerful healing?
Wait, I take 4 damage.
No, they all
No, they
take 4.
Okay, good.
They tried to attack your fox, but your fox is essentially a bubble of pure force. So, they can't actually get close enough to bite it.
Got a psychic Mewtwo barrier.
More or less, yes, if you want to think of it that way. It's basically got a it's actually basically, it's got a power field from 40k on it, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the Lamprey's turn. Zariel, it's your turn.
Me.
There is a fish, there's one of the fish biting viciously into the Shadow Elf, who appears to be unconscious and paralysed on the floor.
Ignore that one. Go for the
Why?
ones underneath.
Why?
Because me and Smith will deal with that one.
Will you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but you need your AoE to take out all the rest of them.
Yeah, okay, look, I am going to, oh my god. Right, so my fox
Yep.
can do the bubble water away thing.
Yeah, if you want to keep that up, it's going to take you another 5 points, essentially, if you want it to be in its bubble.
Can it make a bubble around me?
No, it can't.
Oh, fuck's sake.
You can
What if I
tackle
was
the
with
rat.
it in the bubble?
Then you would have to be about, you'd have to lose about 4 feet of height.
Fine.
What if they put more points into the bubble to make it bigger?
It would make it bigger, it would also start getting close to the point where it would just start destroying your boat.
I see.
Well, then we
I
can
had
just
the
ride
leg.
the bubble to freedom.
Have you ever tried,
Wow.
like, touching a, what would the best
We'll all get
description be?
inside.
An angle grinder? That's more or less what it is.
Yeah.
You can use some of the rest of it to zap some of the other ones,
Mm-hmm.
and that would still leave you able to still do your stuff because that's just your natural magic.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
You're gonna fire your laser?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm assuming you're putting the rest of your points in, essentially.
But I'll get them back.
Yeah, you put them back next turn. It's just, I'm curious how much damage it's gonna do.
Yeah, let's do all of it. Let's do
Yeah.
everything.
Because you're doing it like that, you're not putting your full points in. Each of them has to make a... Would you like, Zara, it to be radiant damage, force damage, or what's the other damage it can do? It can do another one. Is
That's
it,
right.
is it blood?
Psychic?
No.
Okay.
It's the damage types that
Bludgeon.
are, it's the damage that's in. It might be bludgeoning. I need to check.
I mean, bludgeoning is an impact damage. So.
Exactly. Oh, it's thunder.
Thunder. Thunder.
Zara, do you want it to do thunder damage, force damage, or radiant damage?
Thunder seemed to go well last time. Like,
That was lightning.
yeah, same. Oh, right. Thunder is noise.
Yeah, thunder is like a shockwave.
No, fuck that.
Yeah, basically.
Force damage or what was the other one?
Force damage is like essentially a magical sheer impact is force, and radiant damage is a laser.
Laser.
You want to shoot a laser? Okay, the rainbow laser it is. They all... You're going to hit 4 of them with this attack. So I need to roll dexterity saving throws for each of them. Against your spell save DC plus 6. So they can't actually make it unless they're nat 20. One of them nat 20s!
Nice.
So it is going to take half damage. Roll me, Zara, 5d6.
Nice.
Pew pew.
23, okay. The one that you lightninged, which was a bit closer to the surface, that one just disintegrates from the laser beam. A giant rainbow of light appears like out of your fox and just like turns around. One of the lampreys manages to avoid it fairly neatly. The others just get blasted. It doesn't obliterate the others, but it does a lot of damage.
Pew pew.
Okay.
Cool.
Now what do you want to do, Zara?
More damage stuffs.
Okay.
Ugh,
Yeah.
What do you
no
want?
one wants to save me.
What do you want to do?
I want to use light. Oh, what's that chocolate? Okay.
That is not a damage type. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you're dropping it on the sofa.
Sofa is also not a damage you can do.
I want to. I'm looking at my spells.
You can fireball.
No,
No, that's rubbish.
It's not. It's fireball.
it's not
No, but I
rubbish.
mean-
It's just very bad in this
Well,
In this
situation.
situation,
Bad, Jamie. Bad.
You can always fireball. You can fireball the Shadow Elf and kill him.
Fireball is the answer to a lot of problems,
It is.
to be fair.
right? How many of the fishies can I see?
You can see the one on the Shadow Elf, the one in the hands of Smith. There is one dead in the water, and there are 7 more alive in the water.
Right. One that I can see.
Yep.
That's proving to be a problem. I want to polymorph it.
The one on the Shadow Elf's causing problems.
Yeah, I'll polymorph Shadow Elf one.
Okay. Click it, and what do you
Unless
want to turn it
anyone
into?
has any objections.
Hey, do you?
Yeah, it's cool. What do you want to turn it into?
A butterfly.
A butterfly. There's gonna be a very confused fish. Okay, roll me. Click polymorph so I can see what the spell required is. What the save is. Polymorph. Wisdom saving throw. Okay. Boom. Got a 10. Yep. You turn this fish into a butterfly. It is still trying to eat the Shadow Elf, but very unsuccessfully.
Suck
You're
all the poison
welcome.
back out.
I'm gonna pull a stupid move.
Okay.
Right.
That is your go, Zara. So, unless you want to move or anything. Okay. Yeah. Nice one.
Oh, maybe.
You do still have water walking, so if you want, you can just walk off into the mist. But
Walk it off.
No, that's fine.
Smith, it's your turn.
First things first. Stop blazing about, you've slept long enough today. It's a healing word, Shadow Elf.
Okay.
They're not seaweed.
We'll go for a nice 4th level one, he can have some health.
Nice. You heal for 17?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right?
Okay.
Then, I'm going to swallow the butterfly.
Yeah.
This is not an issue.
What?
Alright.
Oh, dear.
Listen, even if this thing turns back into a lamprey in my stomach, I'm big enough that doesn't matter. And my stomach is literally made out of iron.
Oh, it is actually physically iron. Yes, it is. Okay. I was going to say, it might actually, if it turns back, it can start eating you. No, actually, it's iron. It can't crack iron. Yeah, you're good.
Yep. Yep,
Mate.
I planned
I'm
that
not even going to
out.
make a check, to be honest. You just eat it.
Yeah.
You do feel it, like, as it's going down your throat, turn back into the lamprey. But it's too late for it at that point.
Yeah. At which point... Oh. Oh, it's a shame I just cast a spell. I have another dumb idea, but I can't do. No, they have to be willing for that anyway. What else do I want to do?
You've still
You know
got
what?
attack.
I know. How many fish are still in the water?
7. Alive.
7.
Alive, at least.
If I just used all of my natural magic, do you think I could just launch them out of the water?
Ooh. It'd be tricky. You'd have to make a couple of checks, but you could try. They're
Like,
quite, quite slim, so I'm assuming you'd be like shooting rocks up from the bottom up into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to
Yeah.
make some checks, but you might be able to.
I kind of want to set them up for Linus to shoot them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Show an example of teamwork to Dixie. I'll even like give up like my main attack action to do this.
Okay, then I'll give you an advantage on the checks.
Yeah.
You've still
As-
got a
as
fish
I-
in one hand, remember, by the way.
Oh, yeah, but it's got rocks in its mouth.
Yeah, it is. The teeth do look quite strong. I just wanted to point that out. So.
I mean, yeah, it'll last like another round. Someone else can deal with it, but I'll explain the situation to her first, obviously.
Okay.
Right, so what we're gonna do here is called a team attack. I'm gonna launch all those fish in the air. Linus is gonna shoot like at least one of them.
At least
Tag
one, I
teaming.
hope.
Like, I'm really setting them up here. I hope he shoots more than one.
Can I multi-shot?
You can't.
Out of character. If I had another spell that I could cast, I was gonna cast Bless on him and tell him I have faith that you'll do this.
Yeah. That would be
But I
useful.
don't.
Yeah.
So we're just going for it.
Okay, I'm gonna say roll me a spellcasting attack, Jay, with
Okay.
advantage because it is using your action to do it.
Yeah, and I'm pumping all 11 natural magic in this, and it's
Yeah.
just any spell attack, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
16.
It's getting your natural magic bonus though, isn't it? Which is 11.
Yeah, 11.
So,
So
you
27.
get roll me a d7.
Ooh. That's a commonly found dice. Oh god, I beansed it.
5. 5 fish just launch into the air. 2 of them manage to just barely dodge. But yeah, 5 of them get launched up into the air. They look very confused.
Right, Linus, go!
You also do some damage to them as well. You do 14
Oh.
damage to them.
Oh, nice.
Haven't I got a double attack though, or am I imagining these things?
You're
I swear I
imagining
attacked twice before.
You
Damn it.
have your if you activate your tentacles, they get extra attacks on top of yours.
Oh, what if I tentacle it or tentacle bow it?
You can tentacle bow it. The tentacles are out of range of them. They're quite high in the air at the moment.
Or tentacle bow
okay.
is gonna be...
Shadow Elf, Glub, Linus.
He doesn't have any more lampreys on him, does he?
No,
Oh, is he just still paralyzed?
he's
for a minute?
paralyzed for 2 minutes.
Ooh.
But if I summon the arm, then it could fail and I can't shoot my bow, right? Or is that only tentacles?
Is it your action to activate your arms?
I think so, yeah.
Just call me when you need me.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if I call it and fail, I can still shoot my bow, right?
I believe so. Unless it specifically says it's your action, then you're fine to just shoot.
I think so. Let me check it. It's down there.
This is gonna go perfectly. I don't know why you're worried.
Oh wait, it's in my character. No, it's here. Yeah, life symbiote. Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Then yes, you can still shoot, even if it fails.
Wait, that's only for the tendrils though. My bow is normal.
No, I believe when you've got the tendrils active,
Is
you
that when I
get the
get the
healing.
longbow
You get the healing as well.
of life rending? Right, right.
The longbow you can just summon, but you just hurt yourself to shoot. You get healed with the other activation.
If I have the symbiote, okay.
Yeah. The
All right.
symbiote is like got this very specific things. Because most part.
Listen
of the
here,
symbiote-
Dixie. Smith is showing a prime example of teamwork. I'm going to show you something even weirder. Something you don't know about me when you made me tea. I've got something living in me that turns my arm red and also makes me shoot out tentacles. But we'll be good. This is chaos magic. It's not. It could be.
It's not chaos magic.
But, you know,
It's like
I'm calling it chaos magic. I'm a smuggler. I don't know shit.
I'm a smuggler and I am
I've
dumb.
got magic stuff. Dixie, behold my power. I summon you, Red Arm. And I'm going to throw it up in the air.
Okay, try
this is
to
a classic example of how adventurers are all weird fucks.
Yeah.
make,
And I'm
make
gonna
the roll.
Yeah.
I don't know what the roll was.
DC 14 wisdom check.
I believe so, yes.
So what do I do? I just roll
Wisdom. You just click wisdom.
wisdom. Yeah, I figured. Oh god, my wisdom's so bad.
You got this.
Saving throw.
Check.
Yeah.
Check, not wait, saving
Check.
throw.
Oh, check. Where the fuck is the check button?
It is
yeah.
just this the ability.
Yes, I'm being stupid. I always forget 'cause it's such a small thing.
Nope.
Oh god
If
damn it.
any consolation, because you are summoning your bow, the bow is like a weird red, just expands down your arm and then just turns into the bow in your hand.
Oh, but now I'm gonna hurt myself.
Yep.
It's fine.
Can't I just shoot my other bow?
No, you've just done it now. You might
Yeah,
as well
Like,
show.
also, you've just like bragged about it to the sheep.
I've got to maintain face, like they don't know that I failed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks quite
All
impressed
right.
at the moment.
I'm gonna shoot whichever one, I guess.
Yep. I'll
Um,
help you out with that. You get a inclination to aim at the one in the middle of the 5.
Okay. Why have I got 2 longbows here?
Because you have your shitty longbow and your good longbow.
Alright, so it's the +5 piercing.
It's the you've got sharpshooter shot as well.
Yeah, no, I've got 2 life-rending ones here, that's all I'm just looking at.
Yeah, I think.
The other one's sharpshooter.
Yeah, it's because you're automatically sharpshooter now, so there's no
Right.
downside to shooting sharpshooter because of your gloves.
Still a normal roll, right?
Yeah, it is. So you fire the arrow. You also take how much damage? Oh yeah, roll 2d20.
Oh, god.
$32. You take 32 damage.
I thought it's hard, isn't it?
Roll 2d20, take that much irresistible damage, then add that damage as piercing damage to the attack.
Oh, poop. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So your arm, like, explodes into blood as you fire it. But the arrow fires, hits perfectly into the center of it, and the lamprey in the middle explodes, and out of the explosion, 4 lancers, or basically 4 other arrows made of pure red, like red goop, fire and hit the other 4 eels, dealing 32 damage to each of them.
We accidentally actually did a cool team
Yeah.
technique.
Yeah, because I
Linus,
never do good.
you now have an extra ability.
Yeah.
Currently it's used at 1 use. You have 3 uses of this. Basically, it's going to be Blood Arrow, is what it's called. Okay?
Oh, wait, let me start writing this
Yeah,
down.
this is a writing one.
Okay.
This is
Blood arrow.
You can...
3 uses per long rest, or?
It has a number of uses per short rest equal to your proficiency modifier.
Number of usages depend on efficiency
Yeah, per short rest.
modifier per.
If using the longbow of life rending, the damage that you deal to yourself because of its special irresistible damage is dealt to up to 4 additional creatures nearby of your choice.
Damage I do to myself is dealt up to 4 additional creatures nearby.
Within 10 feet, I wish to point out as well.
Within 10 feet of target, right?
Yeah, within 10 feet of the target. Basically, you have explosive arrow now.
Yes, finally.
It's not really like a multi-attack, but it's like you've got a bit of AoE you can do occasionally when you need.
Yeah, it's a grenade launcher, you know?
Basically, yeah, you got a grenade launcher.
Yeah. A mega bomb.
You know what? Smith looks genuinely impressed.
I-
He like expected you'd like maybe get 1 or 2.
I also want to
I
point
only
out.
expected to like fail miserably.
I want to point out. You killed all 5 of them.
Yes!
I think we're eating well tonight.
And I'm just gonna turn around and be like, did you see that, Pixie? Did you see that?
Yeah, she looks very impressed. She's like, oh, and she's clapping. She's put her tea down next to her and she's clapping.
As another lamprey just jumps out and twats me on the head and I'm knocked out, you know?
That would be appropriate, but you actually
Yeah.
passed. You did something cool.
Finally.
Yeah.
I've had a bad few weeks of that as well.
You have. You haven't had combat for a while, to be fair. So.
The times I have, I've missed everything.
True.
Alright.
Okay. Lamprey's turn.
Oh.
Unless you want to do like a dodge or something.
No, I'm just gonna cheer.
Yeah!
Hooray!
He makes a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Classic rogue.
I'm also gonna be like, did you see that shadow elf while you're lying there?
Paralyzed.
Sort your shit out.
Just absolutely rubbing it in his face. Get attacked by seaweed with teeth.
Look
What
at you
the
lying there. Fucking
Oh,
seaweed.
Shadow
Oh, poor guy. It is the lamprey's turn. The one in your hand, Jay, its
Yeah.
jaws just shear through the rock that you
Okay.
had shoved in its mouth. That's all it gets to do. That was basically its attack for the turn. But it is now free to attack after this, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2, are they smart enough to realise the fox is not edible? No, that one isn't. That one is. Okay. So one of them is going to try biting the fox again. Zara, roll me 2d8.
Yes, sir. Uh,
15. That actually kills it.
Nice.
It chomps onto it, and the force just smashes back into it, and you just hear a crack. It's audible even outside of the water. And it just floats to the surface. The last one is going to... Yeah. It is going to disappear. Zariel, make me a perception check with advantage. Hearing, please. $20. Okay. You can hear the grinding sound again
Ooh. Okay,
from under the boat. Only one this time, though.
interesting.
Yes, we've got one left.
And that is... There's 2 left, technically, if you count the one in Smith's hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Zariel, it is now your turn.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do. Fuck. Oh, how many are reachable?
You can see one, and because you got your perception was good, you know where the other one is under the water, but it's directly under your under the boat.
Right, I want to walk on the water, grab the one I can see, do that shocky lightning thing that I can do, grass, whatever. Then I want to use some more magic to get the one underneath.
Okay, the one that is reachable currently is in Smith's hand, not in the water.
Oh,
The one you can't see, you can like go for it under the water, if you like. But I have a question for you, Smith. What did you make the boat out of again?
It's out of the special
It is ironwood. I thought it was.
ironwood, yeah.
Okay.
I assume that means that it's gonna be hard for them to break through.
It also means another thing. So Zara, yes, you can shocking grasp if you like, and you
will
can.
it
You
ruin the boat?
Does iron conduct?
Does
How
ironwood?
iron's a metal.
Ironwood.
Yeah, but not
is-
all metal conduct electricity.
Oh.
right?
It's ironwood. It's specifically wood. But if Zara would actually like to look at her ironwood staff, she'll see it has a particular quality.
Conductor.
Yes, it is conductive. And something else.
Ultralight. That just means it's really lightweight.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
So I
Oh,
will
the whole
use my
boat's
ironwood
conductive.
Yep.
staff.
You're saying the whole boat is conductive? Basically.
Yes. I told you it was. I told you.
Who?
You.
He was
Why
saying
when did we have this conversation?
he was saying that
No, I
iron
just
is
told
conductive. It isn't iron. It is iron wood. Wood is not normally conductive. So he's technically you're both
Iron.
right.
Oh, I really wants to get
Right, so I'm not going to shock it. No, but hang on. Because I used my lightning before and nothing happened to the boat.
Yeah. You weren't aiming at something that's attached to the boat.
Hmm. Okay, new plan, new plan. I'm going to,
That could get the one under the water.
You would definitely get the one under the water.
I mean, you could just zap the boat and it'll get it.
Yeah.
I am going to, if I ray of frost,
Yes.
can I just freeze the lake?
You can freeze a small portion of the lake.
I'll freeze the portion of the lake where the duck is.
The duck.
You'd have to go in
You
the
just
water.
there's just
Piranha.
some random duck over there and she freezes it. It's
The
also not
piranha.
it's lamprey. There are piranhas in this water. You're not fighting them, but you can't
also
really
might
get a
be-
line of sight on it.
Yeah, line of sight would be you going into the water.
Yeah, if you went under the water, then you could have line of sight on it. Which you can't currently do because of Smith's spell.
My
Well,
bad.
she could. She just needs to duck her head under the water. It's your feet that is what makes you go to the surface.
So if you want to dunk your head into this disgusting swamp and shoot a fish, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
Okay. Zariel, so you literally walk out, I'm assuming like 20 feet or so, just in, so you just get a bit out of the, a bit of like a good line of sight. You dunk your head under the water, make your perception check, sight-based.
Okay.
So no advantage.
I'm just going to scroll up and find it.
Hey! I was
Oh.
thinking, this feels like a natural 20 area. You can see it perfectly. It's
Damn.
trying to bite through the base of the boat. You also, with a natural 20, see that each of the other ones actually made some surprisingly good headway on the boat. There are like big like cut holes in the bottom of it. None of them have breached, but it has done some work. You think if you'd have left them for too long, they would have actually punched through.
Well, look, the boat is damaged now anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I damage it more. Why don't I just
Speed
do my
holes.
and kill it?
They're just speed holes.
It's fine, I can fix that.
You
that
can
is
fix it if I damage the boat.
Don't damage the boat. You can,
Interfere it.
you can hit the thing
Sorry, I was
with
gonna
it.
fireball the boat.
I may.
Should
But-
freeze the lake.
Just-
Just get your fox to shoot a laser at it, it's fine.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, are you keeping it in the bubble, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. So
It
you've
needs to
got
be in the
6 natural magic to use for the beam.
Oh no, wait, does it need to be in the bubble?
It'll drown if it doesn't.
Yeah, then it needs to be in the bubble.
It will teleport next to you and drown again, admittedly, until you get out of the water, but still.
Right. Beam me up.
Okay, fire the beam.
Can I
This
make a suggestion for her?
damage type.
If you ray of frost at the same time as the laser, you can do a combo attack.
Doesn't quite work like that, but I like your guts.
I'll do a combo attack with myself.
you
I'll punch
technically
myself
can.
into the enemy.
No, you technically can, just not with those two abilities. Other abilities you have would actually work like that, but not Ray of Frost and the laser beam, unfortunately. Actually, it would in a way if you froze water and then used the Thunder Blast, you could send shards of ice at it.
Sound pretty cool, to be fair.
That sounds cool. Yeah, I want to do that.
Okay.
Do
Roll
it.
me an attack first with Ray of Frost.
Ray of frost. La, 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 la.
Everybody loves Ray of Frost.
14. Okay, you do miss the eel, but you do get a good chunk in front of it as now ice. Now, roll me a... This is going to be a spellcasting check with 6 added onto it. You actually roll Ray of Frost again if you want, because this is basically for you. This is for your fox. Ray of Frost again and plus 6 to it. 27? Yeah, you, my god, do you? You want it thunder damage, right?
Plus 6, right?
Yeah, you got a 33.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you wanted it to be thunder damage, right?
I don't know. This already boat, won't it?
This will affect the boat, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But
we
it's
shouldn't
cool.
do that. It's cool. Okay, just do it.
Okay, so you fight. Roll me.
Sorry.
What was it be? 5d6. Yeah. Roll me 5d6 plus 10, please.
5.
D6 plus 10. $30. Basic. What happens? And you all see this, even the shadow elf who's barely conscious. You also hear this. A huge boom goes out from the fox, like a big wave, like shunts the boat forward a little bit, as a shockwave smashes into the big wall of ice that you've made under the water, Zariel, and
Yeah.
it shatters the ice, and it speeds into a bunch of basically chunks of razor-sharp ice, and it slices straight through the lamprey, cutting it into about 15 different, very even pieces.
Dinner's ready.
Yeah.
Now
now-
we just have to get them out of the water.
You now have one enemy left. Smith,
No,
Finish it.
there's a lamprey in your hand.
obviously, first things first. This is an animal. Animal handling, calm it down so I can make a clean butcher of it.
Roll me animal handling with disadvantage.
I
Minus
haven't attacked
5.
it yet.
You got a 4. Mostly
Not on that
because
one.
it's a fish you're holding in your hand out of the water.
Yeah. Right. And,
It doesn't seem calm. It starts
And
thrashing
obviously-
more violently.
obviously, the next thing to do would be to, put it out of its general misery.
How are you going to do that?
So I pull out my nice war hammer.
Bonk.
Pound its brain.
We've got to make this a mercy killing, like, because we're butchering a fish here, so bludgeoning isn't gonna do it. So I'm gonna just make a giant spike using my natural magic on the end of this.
Roll
Like,
me.
actually, no, not a giant spike. Let's make it like a nice big axe out
You
of
make an axe.
sharp stones. Yeah, I'm gonna chop this thing's head off in one.
Okay. Roll me. I'm gonna say normally this would be a normal attack. Roll me an attack, but with dexterity, so you don't chop your hand off.
It's got a spare.
He has 2 spares on that hand.
He's already lost one recently.
He lost his arm.
See,
I know.
well,
What's your dexterity check?
oh wait, I rolled. I switched my modifier to dex.
Ah, okay.
It should be the 25.
It's a
I did
25.
not have
You do
disadvantage.
still hit. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think you have disadvantage. He's just careful. Yeah, you hit it. And you cut its head off. Quite
Yep.
neatly. Combat is over.
And that is how you prepare a lamprey. Now we gotta make sure that like it didn't eat any people. Unless you're okay with eating people, I guess. At which point you just skip that step.
They're about what's it? They're about width-wise, they're about the size of like a jam donut. So it'd be a very thin person. Also,
Well, it might be a finger or some blood. Like we know that most of he is a bit of a shadow elf, so there's gonna be a little bit of whatever his gunk is made of.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Darkness.
I think
Edge.
it'll have flavor. It's technically not a person.
Do you just bite it?
Oh what? No, like we gotta. We got actually. That's a point. It's probably already a little bit cooked because my weapon attacks do fire damage now.
Yeah.
Let me roll that 2d6 fire, obviously.
It's not 2d6 fire, it's 1d8.
Oh wait, yeah, it's 1d8. Why have I done 2d6?
Did you have a flame tongue weapon at some point?
No. I don't even know where I've
I'm
got
assuming
confused.
2d6 is a flame tongue weapon, so I'm assuming you're thinking that.
I must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a d8.
Yeah, I was like,
and then it turns into a 2d8 later.
yeah.
Okay, let me.
At no
let me-
point
let me-
is it any d6.
No. All right, let me just change that to a d8 then. It's like slightly less. How is it like? How cooked is it from like just a little bit of like a little free?
Not really.
No.
It was covered in slime and water, so
Warm sushi.
it's not even
Right.
warm yet.
So, God,
There's a lot of fish on the surface of the water, and pieces of fish.
I'm not a chef, but I do have proficiency with a herbalism kit, so I'm gonna make sure that the seasoning on it's nice and get someone else to cook it.
Does anybody have proficiency in cooking? Also, after 2
is
minutes,
the
the
cook?
Shadow Elf becomes unparalleled.
Do you know what? It's really funny because I was gonna pick a feat that like helped cooking.
Yeah, you were gonna
before-
take cook. Chef's good,
And
honestly.
then I changed my mind.
Chef is good. Like I'm.
No, I got no cooking
Dixie does not have cooking.
thing
Either.
as well.
The Shadow Elf is awake and moving.
Shadow Elf, can you cook?
No.
Alright, well,
Well, go back to sleep though.
I've never needed to cook.
no, sure, Mr. Never used to be a shadow according to his stories. This only adds to my evidence that you're a
No.
dog. Dogs don't need to cook, people do.
I had meals with my family.
And you
For
never
Christ's
cooked
sake.
for your family?
I guess they have to
Terrible-
wake you up as well.
Terrible
don't they?
child. No respect for his parents. Whatever, I'll try and cook then. But
Okay.
you have to deal with my, with Drodorian cooking, which is,
What?
we stick it over a fire until it's dead.
Until he's dead.
I mean, I could give it a try, but I don't.
I mean, first things first, I'm gonna roll my herbalism kit to see how
Yeah.
good I get with seasoning.
What
alright.
kind of
It's
check
not
is it,
poisonous.
what kind of check is it to
It is a survival check.
survival?
Yep.
Okay.
21. It's pretty good. You
Can't
cook-
even taste test when he's cooking it, so it's all the more impressive.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, you cook up the quite a lot of lamprey. Actually, it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's not rubbery. It's actually quite well cooked. It doesn't taste great, but that's you're thinking probably just the ingredients more than
Remember,
anything else.
guys, I fed us all tonight.
What like extra flavor does like the little bits of shadow inside them add to the meal?
Edge.
Soy sauce.
They had
It's
a
like
nice
an
edge
egg.
to it.
Salty, metallic-y taste, you know?
That's what they taste like to begin with.
Like chewing on a penny.
That's what
Oh
they
yeah,
taste like
that
to begin
sounds
with.
great. Just what I want.
And who doesn't like eating coins?
Yeah.
I mean, Baggy
Full of
loves eating
iron.
coins.
Good for you.
Honestly, I think that might be a side effect from when I had the dragon arm.
That would fit in with lore.
Dragons can eat literally anything.
I can eat almost anything.
Yeah, you can eat almost anything. They can eat literally anything.
I could've
Person
got a
divine
dragon
healing.
stomach, not
Chug.
a dragon arm.
I was basically seeing if it maxed out.
You got pretty good.
I got pretty good.
Your nail's
Did you
still
just-
looking a bit beaten up.
Did you just drink it? Oh, go take a nap. It's all you've been doing all day anyway.
And lay about.
Yeah.
Did you even see my cool thing?
Yeah, we did
I
a
had
cool
no choice
team
but to see
technique.
your thing. I was frozen there.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to hear you say it. I saw your face looking in amazement. It was like that the whole time, but you know, I'm going to say it was for me.
It had a look of shock on it the entire time.
Yeah, you were just so enthralled. It was beautiful.
I mean, it was pretty impressive. Do we have a name for this team technique? It feels like something we could whip out.
Ah.
Pull!
What do we call it? What a spike. No.
Pull.
Um,
Call it pull.
And
Call it what?
Pull.
Oh,
No, because then the dog might get involved.
Oh, we could call it the Dixie Special.
Dixie
Please,
special.
please don't make me have anything to do with this. It was very
I mean,
impressive, but it's entirely on
we-
you.
We will have to at some point help you make your own technique, but we can call the Dixie special though.
That I'm fine.
how
with.
about
Flying
about
Spikes
Smith
Volume
and
2.
Linus Fastball Special?
I didn't throw him though.
Well, you threw the things in the air.
I guess that's like a reverse fastball.
Slow
So-
ball.
There you go.
Slow ball.
So yeah,
Slow
I guess
ball
it's-
mediocre.
Oh,
Slow
we could
ball
call it
mediocre.
Blowfish.
Yeah, but what if we're not fighting fish? You know what? It's fine. We're overthinking this.
Yeah. Let's call it. Oh, what about something to do with seaweed, Smith? We were just talking about seaweed the whole time.
Nori.
Should be seaweed
Kill
related.
Nori.
Yeah. We'll call it the seaweed special, and people will get confused.
Yeah,
And
the
then
seaweed
they'll be in the air.
Seaweed Special Volume 2.
Now without
Yeah.
seaweed.
Just because then people will always ask us what's Volume 1, and then we never have to show them, and then eventually we will, and they'll be like, what?
No, you're on something here.
Marketing.
Marketing.
I mean, it'll probably be a big deal. Like, I'll be honest. The vibe I get is if we're ever going to get rid of these marks, we have to be at least somewhat capable of doing the things legendary adventurers can do.
And it starts off with our amazing team techniques like this.
Yeah, and it starts off with branding. Like, you don't hear
Exactly.
about a legendary adventurer that doesn't have a cool technique.
And whilst we're busy discussing techniques, how
Sorry,
are
it's
we
just
all
Windows
doing?
talking here. Go on.
We doing for potions? I just had to use another one of my last one.
You could have
What
just
did
taken
you
a
use
nap.
it for?
Well, I did get a little chewed up there. I kind of needed to regain just in case something like that comes again. I mean, we are still in the water. It doesn't mean there's not going to be more of them.
Yeah.
So, what was the name of your technique where you immediately fell asleep?
Oh fuck.
Sleeping
Hardly called
lions?
bait.
The Sleeping Monk.
I like it, bait.
Bait.
Maybe if you can actually use it to like
Distract them.
I
just help in the combat, we can call it the master bait because it's an improved version.
Well, if
As
I was
you
still
co-
able.
I hate to interrupt
Ooh.
this conversation, but during this time in this conversation, the entire boat with the fishing rods goes towards wherever side the fishing rod was on. The entire
Oh.
boat just tilts
Oh.
violently to the side and is starting to be pulled through the water extremely rapidly.
We gotta bite. We gotta bite.
Let's go!
Why the fuck did you decide to fish?
You everybody make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
Shadow
Oh,
Elf,
this is
nice.
Dexterity.
I'll
I
get that one.
instinctually put fucking shadow darkness into the floor and
Oh dear.
Just ruined
dig
it.
in.
It was a DC 20.
Oh,
Everyone put the shadow elf stone in the drink.
Oh, so we're all going to be knocked out and he's going to be
The
awake.
Shadow Elf roots himself to the floor with his
After we just
spikes.
made
This is so
Everybody
unrealistic.
else, including Dixie, eats shit onto the side because currently the boat is basically at a 90-degree angle, going sideways incredibly fast.
right.
Okay, as I fall over, I'm going to be like, this is not believable.
Right. Don't worry. I got this. Can I use my natural magic to weigh down the other side of the boat?
Yes, how many points are you putting?
I'll keep putting in points until it works.
Okay. It keeps getting more weight and more weight. Nothing so far even slowing the boat down.
Cut the
Okay.
damn rope!
I mean,
Oh my
we
God,
have
it's that
to see
Hydra.
what's fit onto it first.
Shadow, put your head down.
Yeah, stick your head in. No, I'll. Can I see what's pulling it?
You can see, so, the best description of what you see a massive wave powering through the water. Lots of clumps of like floating debris is getting shunted violently to the side. Of about a 40-foot gap of a wave is just crashing through the water with a large, kind of blackish fin. Not really like a shark fin. It's got like spikes reinforced with a fin.
What if it's that
Powering
Hydra?
through the water. It is not a Hydra. You did not see any points on that on a Hydra.
Okay.
What the? Do I have any idea what it is?
Roll me a nature check.
Can I roll as well?
You
If I
can, yes.
What do
You
you want
roll
me?
me with advantage, actually.
That is a
Shadow.
chicken.
Yeah, I'm rolling all of this.
You just
Nature.
think you're having a disagreement with yourself. Ooh, 18. Okay. Shadow, for you roll as well.
Yeah, that's
You've
just
got
a
advantage.
fish.
Sorry, you're gonna roll nature.
Yeah. I don't know it. Yeah, found it.
Nice!
Angles and
Zariel and Linus actually have some idea of what this is. Shadow, unfortunately, you're not quite able to figure it out. Jay,
My
you're
angle's
convinced
off.
it's
I
a
can't see
normal
it right.
fish.
It's
That-
seaweed, Jay.
No, it's a fish. This is just the size of fish around these parts. You remember the you remember
Yeah,
the
I
other
know
one?
those fish. Yeah.
Uh,
They're fond of
Just a
seaweed.
fish.
Linus and Zariel, you've not seen this exact type of creature before, but you've seen a fin like that before. When you were actually crossing the ocean, in fact, to get to this country on your trip.
Oh.
This is a kind of leviathan.
dip.
What?
So surely he doesn't want to eat us then.
For everyone's reference here, and because Linus would definitely know this and Zariel, having seen one, would know this, Leviathan are about 500 meters long on average.
Huge.
Giant serpent creatures distantly related to dragons.
And the Loch Ness monster.
There is not a Loch Ness in this.
There's no
I
Loch
want
Ness
Nessie
in this
here.
world.
I know.
Doesn't
They're
exist in this world.
Guy.
They're
No.
basically gigantic sea serpents, and
It's
by
a
the look of it,
lapras.
this is one that lives in lakes. Or in marshes, swamps at least.
Like Leviathan.
If you actually
Okay.
look into the water, you can see that the thing goes underneath the boat and keeps going, as far as you can tell.
Oh my god, is it going to scoop us up on its belly underneath
Right.
us?
Right. I got. Don't worry, guys. I reckon this is just a big fish. I can probably pull this one up myself.
Okay, Smith, I think we're actually dealing with a Leviathan type creature, giant
I
serpent.
mean, it's a big fish, but let's not let over exaggerate
It's a
ourselves
big
here.
fish, but I saw one on my way
I'm-
over
I'm-
here.
Why are you talking in my
Ah.
voice, pretending to be? I saw one
I
on my
wasn't
way over.
talking like you.
You didn't
both
see
did.
my way
Yes,
over
I
here.
did.
You were on
Where?
the,
I'm paying attention.
I
Zara,
walk over the side.
you two were on
of
the
boat.
same boat.
We were on the same boat.
He was the captain!
What?
No, I smuggled you.
Can I walk over the side of the boat and stick
um,
my head in the water?
Yep.
There's no point me rolling because, like,
Yeah.
obviously I can't succeed
You
unless
physically
I crit.
can't. Even if you
Unless
crit.
I crit.
Even if you
Even
crit,
if I crit,
yeah. You can
Okay.
try.
you know, he's convinced, so he's gonna try.
33, yeah, fails.
Oh, this
There's
is,
not even any
this is a
give.
big fish.
There's not even any give.
God. Well, I did pick up a fishing rod, so I probably just lose the rod then.
No, it's not. It's the hook is put in a part. It's taut, but it's not like getting any further. It's not wedged in its mouth, basically.
Oh, it's just pulling us along for.
It's you caught onto it essentially, onto one of its pieces of armor, and it's just going.
I've stuck my head in the water.
Okay, you see black scales bigger than Smith.
And I'm going
Spat it.
see. I'm gonna see if speak with animals works and say,
This is not a beast.
"Damn it!" At
I
least try
gave you a
to-
hint as to what it was when I said distantly related to dragons.
That's a dragonoid.
It's a dragon.
Now, you and your irregular fucking beast.
That's normal.
Out of curiosity, though.
Yeah.
Any of those scales look loose?
You can put your head in and check.
I'll come up looking like I'm in big head mode, so I'll ask the Shadow Elf if any are loose.
You know that
Any
these
of-
things scales aren't as indestructible as dragon scales, but they're very strong still.
Any of those fish scales
Does
loose?
he
I want
anything?
a memory of the
What's
one that
that?
got away.
I will roll to see. I got a natural 20. No, they are not. I want to
No?
point out, for this to
thought a
happen,
natural
I have
20
rolled
would be a
3
lot
natural
favour.
20s in a row.
Just cut the line.
Thank God I'm not in combat anymore.
It's about- Like, maybe if we work together, we can catch it. Like, I can't just like give up
I'm
on
not
this
using my
trip.
natural magic to cut the damn line.
What did you use to make the fishing rod, Jay?
Probably just some rope.
Just some rope. Yeah, then you cut it without too much difficulty.
Smith reaching for the rope, like, no!
Oh, don't worry. Because as this thing powers forwards and the ship is now massively weighted to the wrong side, everyone
Oh.
make me a dexterity saving throw.
Amazing.
Whee!
Oh, get rid of the rope.
Yeah, I know. Basically, this is a combined effort because not only did you go from going at about 120 miles an hour to a basic dead stop, but you're also the other direction is now massively weighted against it. Zara, dex save, please.
Yeah.
Also, Dixie got another nat 20. Having a fucking roll.
Dixie
Not 20
actually,
you.
Dixie might actually be better than we are at everything.
I think she's a secret demon lord.
I have
Good
my
demon
imagination throw.
Inspiration.
You just,
Why
you
are
can
you
use
gonna do
inspiration
that on
on this.
there?
if
That
you like.
one.
You can use inspiration on this. if you like. We are ending fairly
But,
soon.
wait, what are we rolling? Wait, can't I carry it over until next time?
No,
Yeah.
What?
Oh, inspiration carries.
inspiration
over.
does not. No,
Damn.
So what's this
I-
roll?
you've used
You
yours
just
already.
roll again.
Yeah, just roll it again. It's a dex save,
roll it.
Zara. I don't know if you've got anything for that. But...
Okay, I guess I'll use it now.
Yeah, might as well.
But am I not gonna get another roll for anything?
You might.
No, you didn't roleplay very well this time.
Shut up, fool.
Yeah, you didn't argue with
Oh.
anything.
Never mind. No, don't worry. It takes the 13. It's
Oh,
still a
good.
fail, but you don't fall off the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Oh dear.
It was another DC 20. So you all eat shit the other direction now.
Yeah.
Now, Smith,
Mhm.
make me a dexterity check to see if you dispel the stones fast enough for the boat not to capsize.
Let's go.
Thankfully, it was a very, very low DC.
Can move a lot of rocks at once.
You literally just realize that you're not going to dispel them in time, so you just shove your arm forward and push the rest off the side.
Yeah.
Now then.
I just eat rocks. I could eat rocks. Why do I not eat rocks?
Because then you can use it as a weapon.
About 80 feet ahead of you, suddenly the wave stops and a huge explosion of water goes everywhere as the massive black leviathan rears out. It is a gigantic serpentine form with a pair of like finned draconic arms. It's this massive serpentine armored body with a head that looks a bit like kind of cross between a shark and a shark, a tyrannosaurus, and a crocodile. If you kind of mix those together with dragon horns, and it's all pitch black, it's like that, and it roars. Everyone, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Roar.
Rawr.
I'm just doing why. I thought he was gonna say everyone make me a roar.
I'm guessing it's one of the ones that'll bypass my immune to frightened conditions.
Yep,
Wisdom.
wisdom saving throw.
Oh, rest in peace.
Dragons are
Wisdom.
scary. Hey, having experienced what I can only assume is a slightly tougher dragon,
Oh dear.
can I have
I've seen
a
one of these before.
I think Shadow Elf's gonna fall off the boat now.
I'm gonna start writing up my new character.
I'm sorry, Shadow Elf, you fall unconscious.
May
Oh,
I have
no,
advantage,
you're the
Mr.
new
DM,
me.
please?
Uh,
I have encountered a few, like, a shock drake, which was probably more horrifying.
actually, fairly similar, actually, because this is an adult Leviathan.
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced it before, though, and I've also encountered, like, 2 of the root track.
I'm sorry, I can't give you advantage on this one.
Damn.
Maybe if you actually kill one. Maybe.
Yeah. I scared one off at least.
You did help scale one off,
Yeah.
But yes, so everybody fails, unsurprisingly.
They're
Shadow, if you're
panicking, like,
unconscious
where's my Dragonator?
Yeah, Shadow, if you're unconscious for 1 round.
Okay.
We're about to get lost at sea, aren't we?
We're in
Uh,
a swamp.
Yeah,
Lost in the swamp.
you're gonna get lost at sea. You're in a swamp. Doesn't matter.
Hey, the thing scared me.
But it does mean that the Shadow fails the next check automatically. Because
Mm.
a Leviathan has just breached the water. Which means
In the swamp.
that it has caused a tidal wave.
Wait. Zara, you have the orb that does a tidal wave. Counter its tidal wave with our tidal wave.
Oh!
Do you want to do that?
Oh! Yeah, do it.
It
Okay.
just sounds super cool.
Yeah. You use... It's the orb, right? It's the orb. So, Zaria, what do you do? What do you do to cause this tidal wave? I'm giving you full narrative here. Because it's going to do
Okay,
something, but
well,
you say what
firstly,
Zariel does.
Where is my orb? Is it a thing or is it a spell?
It's a thing.
Is it my
It's a-
chromatic orb?
No.
No, it's in magic items.
Yeah, you're the one
When
carrying
the
it.
hell
It's
did I
that
get
thing we picked
that?
up ages ago.
That was like so long ago.
It was in the tutorial. You got it.
What? Wait, is it a one-time use thing?
No. It's got a big
the
cooldown.
hydroquake.
It's got a big cooldown. But
I have
Right.
the Pearl of the Hydroquake.
Oh, do you?
Oh, dear.
Yes.
I thought
that's a shame.
Zara had it. Oh well.
that's a shame.
No, give it to me! I've just planned out a really cool thing in my head.
You can grab it off him if you like.
I
Yoink.
grabbed the orb from him.
Just be like, go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's inside
I grab
me.
it.
It's inside
I know.
you. God damn it.
You know
Okay.
what?
Is that actually?
Just rip them open. I don't care.
You'll see the
Right.
front of the Hydroquake Pearl on me. It's sort of like the orb that I use as my focus. It's just inside my chest.
I'll do it this way. Zara, make me a strength check. Top one.
Oh yeah.
And I
Okay,
used
that's
it-
good enough.
Yes.
Let me see where the Hydroquake Pearl has recharged, because I did use it a while ago. In the fight in the arena.
Yeah, you did. It doesn't take crazy long, does it? I know it's got a long cooldown, but I don't think it's massive.
It's been like a
Yeah.
fair
just-
while since then.
You can be used once per long rest, so yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
it
fun.
would've-
You've been 4 days.
Yeah.
So Zariel, what do? You've literally just ripped it out of the elf's chest. Go.
I hold it close to me, and I
Where's the
whisper
damage?
something.
Come on, give me the damage. You might as well kill this character too.
No, there's no damage.
I whisper something secretly to the orb that no one else can hear.
Block jump.
Pug. Am.
You're
My
ruining my
little
magical
pony.
moment.
I'm sorry.
And then the orb starts shaking a bit, and it starts glowing, and the glowing gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and then there are these
You lift it up like
splish
Simba.
splosh, shut up! Splish splosh flames coming out of it, and then it starts going up into the air, and then it starts like shaking and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then my fox runs across
Your
the
mic's
deck.
cut out.
And what?
No, it hasn't.
Oh, no.
Let's go. Keep going.
No.
Sorry,
And then my
that's my lag.
fox runs. Stop ruining my story! And then my fox runs across the deck and then jumps up into the air and does some crazy ass somersault thing and opens its mouth and beams into the orb, and then the orb beams out to the Leviathan, and then it goes.
She's trying hard to get that another inspiration point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna say the fox thing doesn't happen because that would destroy the orb.
Yeah.
Oh, come on!
Don't
That would
break
be
the
I'm
hydro
sorry.
awesome.
break
There's
the
still
fucking
canon.
hydroquake orb.
There's still what it's got to actually happen. The rest of it, I'm cool with.
Man,
The fox can't do it. And
it's
Beam
not as
still powers.
fun.
Yeah, the hydroquake orb rises into the air and then smashes down back into Zara's hand, and a huge tidal wave comes and meets the other one, and they neutralize each other out. Because the Leviathan just looks
I feel like
around.
that was very anticlimactic.
You stopped the ship being launched about a mile, so you did that. It was gonna be hit by a tsunami, Zara. The Leviathan is still rearing out of the water and is looking around.
That fish looks weird.
Probably hungry for some seaweed.
Um,
I want to point out, you know that you guys stayed for an hour in the place that you killed all the lampreys?
Mhm.
I rolled for what would be attracted by the blood in the water from the lampreys that had been killed.
you know what? Have we got any lampreys left?
No.
No.
You
Wait.
ate them.
I think we still have an awful lot of
Food.
of giant carp, Chris.
No, you fed that. You got rid of the carp to feed the last
thought we-
giant monster that you got.
I thought we didn't give it all of it. I
You
thought
gave
we
it all
gave
of it
some
because you thought you were
Oh.
fucked.
Oh.
That was our recently deceased companion's fault.
Kinda was.
Really was.
So, you have 6 seconds before the Leviathan notices you. What do you do?
I can't do nothing.
So you're up. It was basically for the tidal wave round. You're back up.
Okay.
Well, you're conscious. You're on the floor, but you're conscious.
I feel like it should be my turn again.
Dive into the water.
Just bail!
I feel like that's the worst place to be.
Is it?
um,
Unless it is another tidal wave. I mean, you know, we're just like...
well, you're now the food in the water.
Yeah, but does he want to eat us? I mean, we're just tiny, insignificant beings.
So was the lamprey.
Yeah.
Is that what's attractive?
Does he eat lampreys? I don't know. I'm not very good at nature, so you shouldn't be listening.
Roll me a nature check, Liner.
Oh, I'm saying that. I did identify it, so I'm
Yeah, I
lying.
was about to say, yeah.
You know, I distinctly have nothing. I don't remember, like, the other dragon was basically an animalistic thing, yeah.
It was very
Shock
intelligent, but it was still an animal. It was also a baby, so that might have had something to do with it.
Yeah,
This is an
I-
adult.
I have an idea.
Yes.
There's one person here that could maybe potentially get us Geddon, whose natural magic he hasn't used right now. And he could use it to disguise the whole boat.
I don't know who you're on about.
Cav,
Yeah.
do
Right.
something.
He's already jumped off the boat.
He literally just jumped off the boat. He's like outright belt. You know what? I'm
cloaked
gonna.
myself
I
under
know.
the boat.
I know what's gonna happen here.
You can't be
Aye.
under the boat because your feet would drag you back up. You've got walk on
No,
water
it's,
on you.
it's for an hour.
Alright. Alright.
You guys have been an hour, which is why it actually turned up.
Oh, I didn't think I actually jumped though. I was just discussing.
Oh, you're
it,
not?
but
Okay.
That's fine.
Right, what do I?
You don't have to
do?
have bailed. I'll give you a redo on that one.
Okay, how about this? I go. Right, Shadow. I have a plan. I have a better plan than what you just suggested. We're sitting ducks here. I could use my magic to cloak us, but we'll need a slight distraction. You throw up some sort of shadow force field, you know, like a puff of smoke dust thing. I can then try and cloak the ship with all my points, and we can create like a whoa, we disappeared out of nowhere effect. It's better than nothing. I think.
Thinks back to my attempts to hide from the shock tree.
Yeah!
How every single thing was like the closest call of my life.
Or Zara could use a water spell at the same time and just make it even more convincing.
Roll me. This is for Smith. Roll me, because I'm assuming Linus actually suggested this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a intelligence check with advantage, Jay. Or actually history if you have it, but I don't think you
I
have it.
don't.
15, good enough. you know this is a type of dragon, even if it's a very distant relation, which means it has ballistic sensors, including multiple. Basically, you're going. It's probably like a dragon. This thing basically can detect anything within a set radius of it, regardless if it can see it or not.
Right.
So the invisibility is probably not going to do a lot.
Yeah,
because eyes can see through invisibility, and it can probably detect anything in the water.
Yeah, here's the thing: is I don't think your natural magic is going to stop it from seeing us in any capacity.
Ah, fair enough, Smith. I thought his idea was stupid anyway. You know, I just wanted to make him feel like he was contributing.
It was your
Sleeping
idea.
all
It
day.
was your idea.
No, it was his idea to cloak the boat. You know.
All right. Basically, if you want it to not see us, we have to,
Swim.
not be near it, which is the current issue.
Swim.
Swimming's not gonna do shit. Swimming might actually be terrible. Okay, I have a vague idea. That only will help one person, though.
What?
Screw it, I'm doing something dumb.
Alright, do it.
I run to the front of the boat, I cast Thunder Step, and start running across the water.
Just literally run away.
No, in a direction so it sees me.
Okay.
I hope this entertains you! I scream as I as I do this.
In your head, Bob, you hear applause.
Oh shit.
You
just seen the shadow of literally just go, fuck it, jump off the front of the boat with an explosion and start sprinting away, and he just screams, I hope this entertains you, as he's gaining distance.
How fast could you use paddle? Actually, first things first, I'm going to ask Dixie to trust me, and then banish them.
Okay? Poof.
Um,
What's the check? What's the save again?
it would be a DC 14. Is it charisma? I think it's charisma.
I don't think she can fail.
You could willingly fail. Actually, wait, no, I don't do that because if the boat moves,
She's
then
just
she'll
there.
appear.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I changed my mind. I'll ready an action to do that if it catches up to us and the boat can't go anywhere anymore. And then I'm gonna, I don't know. I think I can pedal harder than the Auroch can, and I'm just gonna go fucking nuts.
You're both just gonna get in with the aura. You probably put some pedals in for yourself, I imagine. I can imagine you doing that. And
me and the Auroch pedal power.
Okay, roll me a athletics check, and the Auroch's gonna do one as well. The Auroch's also pretty fucking strong, so.
You know what? I'll even I'll do the strong guy handshake equivalent of staring at an animal and being like, this is where it counts, buddy.
Yeah, the Auroch, you slap the Auroch on the part is it starts.
Cow, you son of a bitch.
And just goes real fast.
Yeah.
It starts pedaling violently. You're also noticing now, Smith, that since you're in the front of the ship, you can actually see the Leviathan's tail ahead of you. The thing is so big, it is about 80 feet behind you, and the tail is about 90 feet in front of you, and it's not the end of the tail.
Yeah, I don't think this is a fish.
I will
Always
say,
a bigger fish.
for anyone who's still looking at the Leviathan has locked its eyes on the Shadow Elf, who's bolting away.
I'm gonna point and go, Smith, look at him!
Oh, that guy's... he's dead.
Oh, we should probably help him. Somehow.
Listen, I thought a young shock drake with an entire army of people. 3 of us survived.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying fight it, but maybe we grab him on our way.
I guess if we can. No.
He's going the other way.
Again. Yeah, he's.
Oh, all right, he's on his own.
Yeah.
What is
He
the
didn't
Levi-
think about this.
What
did
is
he?
the
Yeah, I mean,
Leviathan? I think it was his intention was to distract it so you guys could get away, to be honest.
There's really not a lot I can do to help him here.
Okay, you take the boat and Zario and get yourselves out to safety. I'm gonna cloak myself for what it's worth and go after Shadow Elf. I don't feel
Yay!
like he deserves to be going out this way, even if he was a sleeping moron all day.
Listen, I agree that it's a terrible thing to leave him. If there was anything we could do, I would do it. You will also die.
All right, you've convinced me. I'm staying here.
Wow.
Go. No, this is the player saying go. This is me giving. The
Well,
Shadow
like-
Elf is
like,
giving this
if you-
better.
If you have anything that you can do, it's figuring out how we get past that tail without crashing into it.
God.
Okay, the 6 seconds has been up now. So the
got
Leviathan
my
is
boat
going to
knowledge.
get its turn. Oh yeah, you're, I'm assuming, steering, Linus. As the person who can actually drive a boat.
Yeah. Maybe meanwhile, me and Smith can talk about how we can modify the engine to do a power jump over its tail.
The engine is a cow, I wish to point out.
Yeah, exactly.
The engine is a cow.
We're gonna magic the
and-
cow.
Wait, are we gonna do the seaweed special too on ourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to. I had an idea what you were going to do. I'll tell you later on that one. Actually, I'll tell you
Seaweed
now
special
because
free.
Smith, because this sounds like a very you thing to do. Roll me an intelligence check for GM bullshit because it's funny.
18.
Okay, you have the idea that if you give the cow coffee, it could probably do it.
This is what I said.
No,
Did we have any coffee?
you bought because the Shadow Elf was smart and bought some Nerian coffee on the way out in the supplies.
Yes, there is Narian coffee in there.
There's 5 of them, and currently your party's down to 4, possibly 3 after this next turn.
Do you have to drink the entire thing to get the effect?
You can eat the beans, and that'll do it. It's a cow, remember?
And we're gonna jump it over the tail.
I'm just like in my head. I'm thinking the cow could do it. I could do it. We could both do it.
Yeah, you can both do it. I'll say, if you both do it, if you literally use 2 of the uses of your 5, you will auto pass. If you use 1, you will get a huge bonus. If you use none, it's gonna be very difficult.
And we're gonna jump it, right?
That's what you seem to be trying.
Well, yeah. I mean, Smith, what do you think? We got the beans. I'm gonna have to drive this baby
You know
one way or
what?
the other.
You see Smith just fucking grab 2 handfuls
Like,
of
let's
beans.
go.
You're one in the cow's mouth, one on his own.
Okay, you get all the benefits of the Nerian coffee that you got before. So
I'm
the
gonna be
advantage,
like-
haste, and the plus 10 to all checks for the day.
Seaweed special 3. There we go.
Seaweed special free. Let's do
cow.
11 natural magic to launch our boat.
The cow, its eyes go from normal cow to blood red as it starts pedaling so much faster. Its legs
Stop.
are blur as the boat starts going incredible speed. Smith, the same thing has happened, and he's powering forwards. He hits
You know what?
He hits
It's
the
just
edge of the dragon's leg, and you launch yourselves through the air with an automatic success.
Just because it's also dramatic, I'm gonna stick bless on everyone on the boat. Me.
Everyone starts glowing
cow,
slightly.
Let's fucking go.
As you just straight up action movie, like freeze frame in mid-air.
With my mouth open as I'm holding the
Dixie
Steering wheel
holding
thing.
on, yeah, Dixie holding on, like Dixie and Zaria holding on from like the curtains on the inside of the car, because you are going at currently 80 miles an hour.
This is a fast little boat.
This boat has
This is
lot
amazing
of
engineering.
horsepower. It has a lot of horsepower behind it, considering it's pulled by 1 pig and 1 cow.
Got a lot of cow power.
And you launch, and you are currently safe. Shadow Elf.
Mm-hmm.
Do you look behind you at any point here?
Yeah, I'm looking to make sure it's following me,
Oh, it's not following you per se.
or it's at least
Roll me a
looking in
nature
my
check. It's definitely looking your direction. Roll me a nature check.
Okay.
You're not sure what it's doing. It's watching you intently, though.
Okay.
As you get about... How fast are you moving? What's your movement speed?
My movement speed's 30, but I would have jumped like 90 with the
Yeah.
understep.
Oh yeah, no, that's where you're a good distance already ahead. As you run, you get about, since you'd be dashing, so you'd be going 60 around, and you get about 180 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, as a vortex of water just smashes towards you. Out of the Leviathan's jaws. Yeah, that don't pass.
He's still got 1 HP.
Nope. Well, he had like 70 odd. Okay. So the last thing you feel is a vortex just impact onto you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're suddenly in a dark void.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect you to see you back the next day. Says
Oh.
the twins.
Hi. I didn't expect to be a freaking flyer, but you'd said to entertain you, and everyone was in danger.
You
So-
succeeded. Congratulations. It's quite difficult to appease us. Very difficult indeed, as the beast part of the twin says. But you got me a good laugh. So, here's what I'll do. I'll give you some support. And you are back on the shore. Quite a good distance away. And you see the boat rapidly accelerating towards you.
And then we kill him.
We're about to run him over. Like, because there's no stopping this.
You see,
You just see 4 red eyes glowing.
no, all of Smith's eyes are glowing.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, even more.
So there's
Honestly,
like
it's,
15 eyes.
this is probably actually horrifying. Like, I'm just picturing, like, the red trail behind us.
Nagakuga style, yes. Shadow, if you can actually see a good distance away, the way you were going, you can see the Leviathan easily towering in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
The area you were running is still an still expanding crater.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to get some things now. You
Okay.
gain total deaths 1.
Told this one. Okay.
Isn't that like his fad?
This is a different thing. Okay, total deaths 1. Entertainment 1. Okay?
I get it.
Right.
If your deaths exceed your entertainment, you'll die.
You also, because of this, gain... Roll me a d10.
Okay.
You
10.
gain 10 madness points.
Okay. Where did I put my madness?
Yep, which means you're going to have to roll in a chart.
Where did I put my madness? I thought I put in with all this stuff.
I think it was on your second page, didn't you? It's in your features and traits, didn't you? I thought you put it in there.
On my actual character in here.
I have no idea.
It's
It's the problem of using D&D Beyond for this. By the way, apologies, we've gone quite a bit over, but
okay.
this was the thing that wanted to happen.
So, I've got 10 to add to whatever I had. I think I had something like... oh, there. I've got 13 now.
13, yeah. If you end above 10, so you've got the thing. Here we go. Okay. So roll me. That's the wrong table. That is the perils table. Nope, that's explosive critical. Sorry, I've lost my sheet for it.
Is it still a D20 or something?
It's a D100, but you have to find the actual chart. Yeah, roll me a D100.
81.
81. Yeah, you didn't get any adds to it because it's just your first roll in it. Is this? Oh, nope. Madness. Ah, here we go. Okay. So you got an 81. Oh, this is an interesting one. Okay. Roll
Okay.
me a D10 first.
Alright.
5 pluses is permanent. This is permanent. Okay. You have forever. You have interesting. You have proficiency in perception now. If you already had
did.
proficiency, you have expertise in perception.
Okay.
In addition, you lose. Roll me a D4.
Okay. 4.
4 points of wisdom. Your wisdom score is reduced by 4, essentially, so. Permanently. So for perception, you actually got a bonus.
I'm down to 13.
You sound really sad.
It's pretty brutal. This was a bad one.
I need to figure out how to give myself keys, isn't it?
Gesundheit.
Thanks.
Oh god.
Okay. Now I need Linus to make me a boating check, essentially, please.
Boating check.
Yep.
Just water vehicles.
Yeah, water vehicles.
Funny.
24.
Because it...
Am I gonna kill him?
That's funny, because it put me way down in my perception and then boosted me back beyond what I actually had in the
Yeah, as I was saying, for your perception, you actually get a bonus for this. Everything else, the wisdom score, it's actually bad. But for perception, you actually got good. Yeah, basically, Bob, your character is now extra fearful, and they see evil and darkness and threats in every shadow. Which means that you're a little bit unstable now. But your perception actually go up because you're going to be constantly looking around. Essentially.
In every shadow.
Yeah. You're a bit paranoid, essentially.
They're made of shadow. Do they literally like look at themselves and they're like,
Linus, you see the shadow elf ahead,
Yeah.
lying face down in the dirt. battered, bruised, their armor's been torn violently. Basically, they look like they just got hit by a Category 5 hurricane that was contained to their body alone.
And now they're gonna get hit by a boat.
Are you actually going? You can turn away if you want.
No. Okay.
That's why you rolled high enough that you're not forced to hit him.
Okay, that's good. I guess.
He's undisappointed.
You're gonna
It just would
road
have
kill
been so
Leo.
funny to knock him out after all of this.
You might have killed him, honestly.
Yeah, I think it would have outright killed him. Never mind knocking him out.
Oh, by the way,
What was
Bob,
the
you're
damage I
resto-
took?
how much damage do you take from the?
Oh yeah, I was.
You were
dead and-
instantly killed. You're restored to full hit points, if that's any consolation. Of the, actually, I will roll it. Why not? I'll roll it in the game. $10,791 damage.
Okay. Yeah, that would annihilate.
Yeah, that's why it's like, you can't survive this. If it
Yeah.
rolls ones on every dice, I don't think you survived.
Wait, surviving what?
That damage. That was the breath weapon of the Leviathan that I just rolled.
Can we just roll the boat for fun?
Roll the boat, okay.
No.
Just see if he
Just to
dies.
see how much damage it would have done.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
could have survived if it rolled one on every, and I don't think everyone else could have.
It rolled pretty bad, actually.
Did you say I was back at full health?
Yeah.
Yes, you're back at full health.
Alright.
Okay, roll me line. So this is yours.
Yeah.
2d20 plus 80. 105
Yeah, you would've
damage it
killed
would have
me.
done.
So I would have killed him.
You would have killed
Yeah.
him.
Cool.
Actually, you wouldn't have
It's a
killed
good
him. He
job.
would have been unconscious, because I think he wouldn't have outright killed you, because you've got
I know,
like
I
90
would have got
health.
off the boat and be like, he's sleeping again. Come on. Come on, guy.
Man literally just like sacrificed himself so that we could escape.
I know, but we wouldn't be aware, would we? We would just be like, oh.
You're fairly aware. The vortex that just erupted out of the dragon's jaws was very audible. It made a boom across the
Yeah, but we
Sarah.
were busy sky jumping the bloody tail leg.
It was the leg and the tail, pretty much. But yeah, you still noticed the crater's still expanding.
Okay, I definitely wouldn't have noticed because I was focused on driving.
I'm full on pedaling. Someone's gonna have to scoop this man up.
You've got your arms free.
I'll get. Well, can't Zara
Zariel and
cast something? I'm driving.
Shadow, if you
Unless-
want, you can make a dex check to try and get onto the boat.
Shadow grasp onto it or something.
Just to step straight onto the boat.
I
Okay.
can.
Yeah.
Spend another charge on one of the features of the suit.
Good move.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's the suit and not you doing it, it actually works perfectly as well. If it was you doing it, it would require a check, but the suit does it. Like, the suit basically calculates it for you. So,
Teleports back on the boat.
make me
I want it.
make me a dex save though, because to see how quickly you grab onto something, or you guys are going to face plant because they're going very fast still.
If I saw him, I'd have an arm out at the very least for him to like grab onto.
You would have, yeah.
I'm literally failing this. No, I'm just gonna straight up fail it.
Are you
and
going to
just
choose
be-
to go eat shit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
fair.
choosing to just fucking face plant and be like, for fuck's sake. Hi.
Yeah, he
I
just like
have-
thunders.
Killed me. That killed me.
Okay, I have a new theory. You're part cat. That's why you died and came back.
Cat dog.
Or you're finally listening to me and just walking it off.
He's walked it up!
Oh, yes, the twins would love you.
Now we just have to deal with the whole like you sleeping on the job thing. Honestly, dude, that was.
Yeah, I'm glad you could make
I
it.
appreciate like, the dragon thing, amazing. If this was like a ranked education system, like whatever the highest grade is, I don't know, S tier.
Quad S.
Silver sword.
Triple S, yeah, 4S.
What? That's 4S, is not 3.
But like, it's downgraded to like maybe an A because you did spend like almost all of the day asleep apart from that.
I look towards her. Daisy's.
Dixie and
Dixie.
Zariel are currently hanging from the curtains as the sheer velocity of the acceleration forwards. 'Cause I'm
I look-
assuming you guys
Dixie-
aren't stopping because
Wow.
Leviathan's still there.
Yup, gotta
Oh.
keep going.
And I look at Dixie, and that is how you don't do things and die.
Understood!
Strap in.
It's been
Let's
very...
go.
That's what we in the adventuring business call a ballsy move. Sometimes you have to attempt a ballsy move. It may not always pay off.
But when you're entertaining people, it does have to do something.
Now he's a merchant, so he's clearly not handled the ballsy move well.
Got it! This has been very instructive!
I will be checking your notes later to see how I think you scored.
Okay!
I imagine like the notes if they even made any along lost in the wind.
So, that is where we are ending for today. You guys actually technically survived a Leviathan attack.
Just
You say survive.
That's why I say technically.
listen, I'm 2 for 2 on dragon encounters. I'm positively buzzing.
Yeah, this is technically not a dragon, it's a related to a dragon. But it's a dragon-type creature, so does count.
It's good enough for me.
Yep. So yes, I hope you enjoyed the show. I actually might be back on in a few hours because I feel like playing Elden Ring. So yes, thank you, my players, for being fucking hilarious today, honestly. You guys were awesome.
I had to do something to make up for falling asleep on the job.
Yeah, you did. I was wondering what you'd do. I thought you'd make something for being paralyzed and passing out and things. So, okay. This has been
Show all around.
Geddon, the Center of Magic, for today. These were my players, Bob, Jay, Zara, and Cav. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Have a fantastic evening, every one of you. Keep playing big games, keep it awesome, you guys are the best on Twitch. Geddon will be back in 2 weeks. See you then. Good night!
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Goodbye.